They got guidelines. Now, so don't you know they got guidelines? They got guidelines, procedures. You can't use Shirley Strawberry. They got guidelines, procedures. Shouldn't scam someone with more money. They got guidelines, procedures. Looks like you thought you were invincible. They got guidelines, procedures. Alleged multi-level criminal. They got guidelines. Love mindset. They got guidelines. They got guidelines. Let's go. Don't you know they got guidelines? That's right. They got guidelines and procedures that we all have to follow. All right. Let's see here now. Alrighty, hello, good friends, and welcome to Kelly's Wordy Reactions. I want to thank you so much for stopping by today. If you would, please hit the thumbs up and like the video as you come in. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I am so happy you decided to stop by. Feel free to hop in the chat. If not, that's fine too. I will still feel and very much appreciate your presence. Alrighty. So let me navigate back over here to StreamYard. Hello. Let's see who's here. Hey, Vicky. And I got champions. Hello, hello, hello. Thank y'all so much for stopping by. Vicky, I wanted to say congratulations. I actually don't know how long you had your channel, but it's felt like it was new. So if it's not new, still congratulations for whenever you set it up. But I see you're up and running on your channel over there. So congratulations. Yes. Happy Hump Day. And also happy Juneteenth holiday to all of everybody, right? Because it's actually a national holiday now. So with that being said, real quick, I wanted to do a little Juneteenth honorarium here. And probably by now, most people know exactly what Juneteenth is since they made it a holiday. I've kind of always known, or I don't know when I knew, but at some point, I feel like I've always known about Juneteenth. And I guess what I didn't know was that everybody else didn't know what it was. So we're going to skip over here real quick before we get into our real content for the day. And just do a little honoring of Juneteenth. Look at there. National Museum of African American History and Culture, Smithsonian. And it reads, The Historical Legacy of Juneteenth. And y'all, when I saw these people, I got a little choked up. I really did. I had to get myself together. I said, am I going to be able to read this? Because the picture, it reminded me of my grandparents, great-grandparents. And I did not know my great-great-grandmother, but I have a picture of her. She's actually on a picture with a lot of family, but my cousin, who's in my age group, she was born at the same time our great-great-grandmother was living. And she actually lived to be 100. There was some type of town celebration for her because she had gotten to be 100. And in a tragic, very tragic incident. She was killed in a house fire. Um, and they believe it had something to do with those old heaters. You know how everybody used to have that, those big stove heaters in their house. So they believe it had something to do with that. And so yeah, she passed away at well, no, she was more than 100, but I don't know how many years past 100. I just know that my cousin, who was born in 1967, is on a picture with our great great grandmother. And so she had to at least have been born in 1860, I don't know, 765. Um, because yeah, my cousin was a baby, but she wasn't like a newborn. She was sitting on somebody's lap. So she could have been in between like 18 months and 3 years old. I don't have the picture in front of me, but she was a little baby girl, toddler-ish, sitting on someone's lap in that picture. So yeah, so when I see these pictures and I don't know, I think about my own grandparents. I think about um how close slavery is to me, because I actually, I did know my great grandparents. And then um so the great great grandmother, she would have been born right there at the end of slavery. So she could have been born within slavery. Definitely her parents were in slavery. So so yeah, it got to me. It really did. And so yeah, and then plus, I miss my people, right? I miss my grandmother. She passed away. And when did she pass away? In 2010, I believe. Uh yeah, my mother, she's not with me anymore. Um my grandmother's parents passed away in the 90s, I want to say. They lived a long time too, like they were both 90 something years old. So anyway, it was like when I saw these people, I was like, oh Lord, this is a trip down memory lane. I don't know if this is taking me out a little bit. But anyway, let's look at this real quick. On Freedom's Eve, or the eve of January 1st, 1863, the first watch night services took place. On that night, enslaved and free African Americans gathered in churches and private homes all across the country, awaiting news that the Emancipation Proclamation had taken effect. At the stroke of midnight, prayers were answered as all enslaved people in Confederate states were declared legally free. Union soldiers, many of whom were Black, marched onto plantations and across cities in the South, reading small copies of the Emancipation Proclamation, spreading the news of freedom in Confederate states. Only through the 13th Amendment did emancipation end slavery throughout the United States, but not everyone in Confederate territory would immediately be free. Even though the Emancipation Proclamation made effective in 1863, it could not be implemented in places still under Confederate control. As a result, in the westernmost Confederate state of Texas, where I'm from, enslaved people would not be free until much later. Freedom finally came on June 19, 1865, when some 2,000 Union troops arrived in Galveston Bay, Texas. The Army announced that more than 250,000 enslaved Black people in the state were free by executive decree. This day became known as Juneteenth by the newly freed people in Texas. And then it goes on. I think it was a little bit more I wanted to read. I can't see y'all on StreamYard, so hello, hello, hello. If y'all are coming in, I have another monitor. I need to put my tech hat on and hook it up so I could see the chat as well, but I can't see the chat right now. So hello, if you're just coming in, we're going to get into our text messages and stuff today, but I just wanted to do a little honorarium of Juneteenth. Tell everybody, hope you're having a happy Juneteenth holiday, and finish up this reading real quick. So, and I continue. The post-emancipation period known as Reconstruction, 1865 through 1877, marked an era of great hope, uncertainty, and struggle for the nation as a whole. Formerly enslaved people immediately sought to reunify families, establish schools, run for political office, push radical legislation, and even sue slaveholders for compensation. Given the 200 plus years of enslavement, such changes were nothing short of amazing. Not even a generation out of slavery, African Americans were inspired and empowered to transform their lives and their country. And then it goes on to say Juneteenth marks our country's second Independence Day, although it has long been celebrated, what they meant to say, although it has long been celebrated in the African American community, this monumental event remains largely unknown to most Americans. Okay. All right, then. So that's that on that. And let me get back to y'all. Okay, so let's see. Let me go back up here in the chat and see what y'all were saying. Kendrick Lamar is going to be in concert? Okay. Oh, he's throwing a Juneteenth celebration today in Compton. Oh, okay. I know. You know what? If I can find the picture, I'm gonna take a picture of it and put it on the community wall. I don't know that. So sorry. I don't know that. Thank you. I think. Okay. Yeah. Well, I was talking about my grandparents and all of them. Thank y'all. Yeah, I don't know if it's me or one of my cousins that has that picture, but if I can come across it fairly easily, I'm gonna let y'all see. Let's see. Hey, I said what I said. Thank you for stopping by today. Y'all, so sweet speaking to everybody. Champion said, I knew my great grandmother. She was always had hugs, and a smile for us kids back in the 60s. My grandmother and her daughter, not so much smile. Okay, yeah. I just only remember I remember my great grandmother. She was like a real little lady, and she used to have that real crepey skin on her arms. I guess maybe she was bigger at some point. She had I remember I used to just sit and like feel her elbows, and for some reason she used to let me do it. I'm like, I would probably be telling my grandkids, okay, you can stop pinching on my elbows now. But I just used to like the way that crepey skin felt on the back of her arm and her elbow, and I would pinch it and feel on it. Okay, let's see. Reparations now. I heard that. Yeah, do something other than just, give a commemorative day. Let's see what y'all really talking about. In my opinion, some people still mad because we're no longer slaves. Girl. That's a whole discussion right there. Okay. All right. So, how's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? I hope y'all are doing good today. Yep, it is Wednesday. It's hump day. Almost over that hump to get into the weekend. Alrighty. So, what I found, let me get rid of this so it won't confuse me when I get ready to share my screen here. So, what I was looking at was the for some reason, like, this call came up. I was looking at something else actually, and when that went off, the one of the phone calls from prison's call just started playing, and I was listening to it, and I was thinking, I think my phone might have been in my pocket, and I was thinking, is this somebody's video like reviewing this call, or is this like the phone calls from prison? So I looked at it, and it was actually phone calls from prison. And then the more I listened to it, the more I was like, you know what? Let me see what they were talking about during this time. So this is the let me share it with y'all. This is the infamous, call where Nesto tried to give Shirley the ultimatum. And everybody that has reviewed it. But I was just thinking, oh yeah, what were those texts looking like surrounding this call? Because it was a lot of discussion actually about what was text and what didn't get answered. And um, Nesto was saying, he had been reaching out, but she wasn't saying anything. So I said, okay, let's scroll to that part of the text messages today and read and see what's going on. So let's just play like a little snippet of this. We know what it is, but we'll just get a little idea. Okay, here we go.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. How you doing today?
You're talking to me. I'm fine.
Yes, I'm talking to you, love. How you
Hey,
doing?
Texas
I got
Toy.
to go around and find somebody to call you, see what's going on with you.
Mm.
Hey guys, I'm gonna mute the phone for a minute. So next goes to hang up, you can call me back. I'm gonna put it on mute, okay?
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, what's going on with you, love? Talk to me.
About what? What do you mean?
I mean, 'cause I didn't hear from you. I just called you 2 weeks ago, and just all of a sudden, the phone, you just wanted to set the phone call. Then I called
So
Dean. He told me what's going on. He said he just told me bits and pieces. He didn't tell me everything. He gave me a dry run. So
well, what did he tell you?
he told me that you're tired and you're not this. You don't want to deal with nothing else no more. And he said that you're going broke. All right, what are you talking about? And I told him that's
Oh.
the case. That's what he told me. And I said that's
Hmm.
the case. She needed to turn that truck, call them folks and tell them to pick that truck up, take the insurance off that fucking truck, and say fuck all that shit and just save her ass. That's exactly what I told you. I don't know if he told
Okay.
you that or not. I don't know if he told you that or not. 'Cause I don't know what's going on. He said he took some pictures and sent them to you. So, and I told him to tell her that I get a free call every Monday for 5 minutes. I call her. So I tried to call you. You didn't answer the phone. So I don't know if you knew
Mm-mm.
that or not. But I'm just trying to figure out. I need to hear your voice. I don't need. I got two dry texts from you. One 2 weeks ago. I asked you, you fine? You like, I have to be. That don't sound like you. That sounds like somebody else. So I wasn't sure. So I texted you yesterday. I got another dry text. I ain't got no money. What is that? I said, that don't sound like you. You at least have something to say with it. So
Yeah.
Surprise! She ain't got nothing to say today. Okay, so let's go over here to the text messages. Now, I don't know if I can show the message thread, y'all, because I just don't know. So I'm going to read, and let's see. So let me tell you this. If you haven't seen it already, prior to this, her what for whatever reason she wanted to stop talking to him. Prior to that, like in the couple weeks before that, he was sending her long messages, and they were having to do with his book. They were having to do with things that he was just telling her that he remembered from a long time ago. But I think basically it has to do with him writing the book, telling her things that he wanted to be in the book. Um, it's a lot of stuff he was actually writing to Shirley. Yeah, he was actually writing her a lot of stuff. Like on May 22nd, 2023, Shirley wrote him, "Okay, keep it coming, honey. I love reading your writing." So it was just a lot. It was a lot going on. Um Also on that day, around the same time, actually, Sonia wrote Nesto, "I'm better. Love you." So I may come back and read some of this because it's pretty interesting what he's saying. But let's just get to the part real quick to where he says, let's see, it was on the 30th, I believe. Yeah. So on May 30th, 2023, Ernest wrote to Shirley, "You okay?" Question mark. And then on the 31st, she answered him and said, "I have to be." So that's exactly when that happened. Was May 30th and May 31st. So let me pull back down here a little bit. And it's just interesting. It was like he was keeping close tabs on her, because just on May 24th, Shirley had messaged him, "Hi, honey, your attorney just texted me today. No, just texted me to say they will be there tomorrow evening." And then, okay, and then looks like on the same day, he messaged her back and said, "Okay, how you doing?" And then on the same day again, she messaged him back. This is Shirley messaging back Nesto. She said, "I'm okay, love." And in the middle of that, we have Sonia messaging. She's answering him something back, actually. So she answers back Ernest and says, "Monday at 2 p.m. on the 25th. So, of course, Sonia is in here, mingled in everywhere. Um, so then on the 25th, Ernest tells Shirley he did come see me today. And then Shirley answers back, "How was it?" Oh, actually, she didn't answer back until the 27th. "How was it?" Okay. Okay. So then on May 29th, Ernest messages Shirley and he says, "How you today? I called you." And let's see, when does Shirley answer anything? And that's it. She didn't answer. She didn't answer back. Not at that juncture, you know. She never did answer him back. So also on the 29th, Ernest told Sonia good morning. And then Sonia answers him back on the 30th. Also, just keep in mind, we know that Nesto is not having conversations with Shirley on the phone because he told us, you know, you're not responding to me. Oh, let me turn this down. I'll just look at it. But he and Sonia are, you know, we know that they're having phone conversations. So we have to, in our minds, kind of allow for this to be disconnected because they are not only just texting, they're also picking up with the conversation on the telephone. So, you know, it's going to be a little disjointed with them. Okay, let me go to the chat and see what y'all are talking about. I feel like I'm over here all by myself. Okay, so hello, if you're just coming in. So yeah, we just listened to a little snippet of the call from June 15th right there where Nesto tries to back Shirley into the corner and give her the ultimatum to tell him what she's going to do. So this was way back in June 2023. So look, that's like a year ago, almost to the date. Well, a few days from a year ago. So we listened to just a little bit of that. You know, it was 2 calls here where he talked to her the first time and then he had Dre call. He talked to her the first time. They got off the phone. He couldn't get anywhere. So then I guess he paced around for 2 or 3 hours and then he called back and had Dre call again. And that's when he really, really pressed her to tell him what is she going to do. And she wouldn't tell him anything. So we listened to just a little snippet of that just so we can put ourselves in the arena of these text messages. Let's see. So let me see. Tap in with everybody. Let's see. It doesn't even sound right for him to be cussing around Shirley like that. Well, Shirley never did. You know, she didn't say anything. She didn't talk like him, but she didn't say anything about it. I did pay attention to that too. Let's see. We're all in one room apartments, but he's the one always talking about a free 5-minute phone call. Yep. He wishes everybody was down bad like he wants them to be. He can only wish. He also wishes that he could have taken advantage of actually making some money off of social media. He was doing all of that stuff, making skits and having somebody follow him around with some camera and putting all that stuff off of on his Instagram, and he probably never even made a dime. Hey, Danielle. Thank y'all so much for stopping by. If you just got in here, I appreciate you coming over. Hello, Olivia Only. Texas Toy. Y'all are speaking. So why did she put up with him cussing like that? Yeah. You would think that would be a little, but you would think a lot of things, you know. I would think that she would have had a background check, and when she found out the background, she would have been like, you know, I like you and everything, but I'm just not going to be able to do it. But she didn't. Hey, Zen Soul. Thank you for coming by today. Hey, Laura Rinda. Am I pronouncing your name right? I feel like I'm pronouncing it right. But let me know if I'm tearing it up like I was doing. Let me see if I can. No, I have to see her name. It's someone else I was doing there, and I was really butchering her name, and she gave me the pronunciation. I started to do it better, I think. Okay. Stalker. That was funny to me when we got yesterday, or either yesterday or the day before, when she said I'm crazy like 2 to 3 times, just in the body of the messages. She just stuck in there, I'm crazy. Um, that was a little concerning. When is Ernie's court date? Let's see. That's a good question, and I'm gonna make myself a note because I don't know. But I will make myself a note to find that out. Okay. This is my favorite call from Shirley. I'm sick of it. Yep. Okay. Hey, Shebe. You say you're in the bushes at work. Okay. I spoke to Olivia. Okay, I think. Okay, oh, good. I'm doing it right. Laura Rinda. Okay. All right. So let's get back over here. To the messages. So yeah, so he's intermingling his conversations and everything between him and Sonia, him and Shirley. And so when he said on the 29th, when he said, how you today, I called you. I don't know why he said it so like blunt like that when he told Sonia good morning, but he did. And then she never did answer him back immediately anyway. So we'll see. We'll read on to see when did she answer him back. So on the 30th, Sonia answers him back and she says, "Good morning. Missing you more every day and thinking about you so much. I will send the pics now, and I have added money to this account. I'm going to squeeze you so hard when I see," and she wrote see again, "you. I love you more every day and we are solid." And she wrote that in all caps. Okay. And then on the 30th, after Sonia's message, Nesto writes, "Shirley, you okay? Question mark. And I don't see anything from Shirley. And then on May 31st, 2023, Nesto writes, "Sonia, hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my small town girl. I love you. Have a good day." Okay. So that's what he wrote to Sonia, that particular entry. And then, oh, okay. And then Shirley, this is where Shirley answers back on the 31st, "I have to be." So that was in response to him saying, "You okay?" So she did. So yeah, we just read that, but that's where she answered back. And I don't think she says anything for a while after that. Okay, so moving on to June 1st. June 1st, Sonia writes Nesto, "Hi, my love, missing you, smiling every time I think of you, looking forward to us." And then Sonia writes Nesto again on the 1st. Okay, still, so yeah, still the 1st. "Good morning, my love," with 3 exclamation marks. "Missing you much. Excited for our future." And then Sonia writes Nesto again on the 1st. I love you! Exclamation mark. And then on the 2nd, so we don't know if they had a phone conversation in here, but he didn't write back. So on June 2nd, Nesto writes to Sonia, I love you always. Have a good day. And then on the 2nd, Sonia writes him back, I'm wrapping my arms around you. I cannot wait for the day I actually get to hold you. We are going to achieve grand things together and have fun doing so. Love you more. So then, continuing on the 2nd, Sonia writes to Nesto, you never called. Movies Saturday night, not today. You being on my life is complete happiness. I guess she meant to say in. I hope you're okay with your decision. Saying things out loud changes things. Love you. So we go to now the 3rd of June, 2023. And again, Sonia writes Nesto, I love you more every day. Thinking of all the fun to come. Living life to the fullest. Do you feel it? We're growing old, mad, crazy. We're growing old, mad, crazy! Exclamation mark. Do your exercises. I need you healthy. Promise to keep you happy. Love you. And again, well, so the day ends for the 3rd, and we pick back up on June 4th. So Sonia again writes Nesto, I love you. And then there's nothing else for the 4th. And then on June 5th, Sonia writes Nesto, good morning, handsome man. Loving you more today. And then nothing from Nesto. So, and that's all for that day. So then on June 6th, Sonia writes Nesto, enjoy talking with you always. I feel fortunate to have met you, to have found you. You are a gift. I love you. Okay. So I'm guessing that they must have spoken in here since she said she enjoys talking with you. Okay, so there was no more text for that day, and they went on to June 7th. And Sonia says, you did not call me back with 4 exclamation marks. Love you. And then that day ends, and they go on to June 8th. And Ernest finally writes to Sonia, I love you. And I know they're having some phone conversations in here, but I feel the tone is, salty because he's wondering about Shirley. Okay, so we're on June 8th. I'm going to come back to the chat. Oh boy. Hey, cross country cruiser. Let's see. That line is from a vaudeville song. I don't know it. He did not start loving Sonia until Shirley cut him off. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he grows very I don't know, cold. But there is a conversation in here. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and see if I have it right here. I do. Okay. So there's a conversation right here with him and Sonia. So let me go ahead and pull it up. because so he last talked to Shirley, that was like 5:31, and then he's barely answering these text messages back from that point on. So I'm gonna stop sharing this one and then start sharing this other one. Okay, this is June 4th, 2023. So let's see what they're talking about.
Now I am. I took my shirt off because I'm about to put this little tank on. And your brother called.
Yeah, call back again.
How's he doing? Can you call me when he calls you?
Okay. What do you want?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Probably to tell you something else that's wrong in his life. I need some big brother advice.
Okay.
Probably something of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I know, right? It's kind of weird, but I get the feeling that's what it is. I feel like he's going through something and he want to talk to you, but not realizing you're going through something and you really don't need to hear about what his little problem is because it's nothing compared to what you're going through.
Right.
And it's like a person having a deadly disease, but you talking to me about a cold, you know?
Right.
Like, oh, this cold's been kicking. Well, okay, well, I'm down. Shit. You know, like, why are you calling me about that when, you know, don't call me and ask, you know, because you care about him. Of course, it bothers you when shit goes wrong in his life, but right now, that's a small problem. You know?
Yeah, that's some.
The bank and all this. Oh, the bank keep messing with him. Okay, dude. Okay, that happens. Pull your money out the bank, yeah.
Okay.
You know, this froze my account.
Okay.
Okay, we'll get him back. Process. So yeah, your brother wants you to call him for free.
No, I'm not doing that. No, I don't want to do that. If he can't pick phone out like you pick phone out, it is not.
He sounds like his stomach hurts.
And then when you get your free call him and see what he talk about.
He's not going to answer, so I'm not going to waste my time.
Is that what happens? So he thinks it's a charge. He don't understand it's a free call.
Thank you.
Wow.
Don't even take time to listen to it.
Right.
So
That's fucked up.
that's what I'm trying to say. So no, I'm not. He know how to shut everything down. That's what it is. Yeah, I told you that.
We ain't gonna entertain it.
Yeah, I'm not. He know how to shut everything down. I'm not trying to do all that, bro. I'm not trying to do all that. No. I got bigger things I need to.
What did he shut down?
When I get out. Who's gonna pay for that? That they ain't. So guess what I gotta do? I gotta figure out a way what I gotta do, right?
I'll get your cell phone, bro.
No, listen what I'm saying. I'm just you're funny.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. You got to kind of start from scratch. Hopefully, everything goes like it should. You shouldn't, because you can just liquidate your things. But in the meantime, at this point, if it goes,
he's pouting. I mean, a cell phone, that's kind of pretty much the least of your worries when you don't have you don't know what's going on with your wife and wherever you're going to live. I got to worry about how I'm going to get a cell phone when I get out. Okay, I heard that cell phone.
The other way, you got to start from scratch.
Right. That's right. So, I have to think.
And if you can't send me $100 a month or $200 a month towards my jail situation, what are you going to do when I get out?
Nothing.
Exactly. Because this is like,
Yeah, so
because you can move when you out, but when you're in jail, you can't move. So
If you have not already, can you please hit the like?
So you're completely dependent. It's just ass backwards. And people do that for some reason. I don't understand the mindset, but they'll do that. They'll assist you once you're home, but did nothing for you when you were gone, when you were completely dependent. Because when you're in jail, you're dependent.
But he didn't tell you to get him to call me. He didn't say that part.
No, he said when he called you, call me on the 3-way so I could talk to him.
That's what I
He didn't say nothing about taking his ass down there, putting some money on the thing so he could talk to you.
That's what I thought.
So that's all the calls you could have had. You could have put $50 on the phone, added your phone right there at the machine, added your stuff to the account, and had him call you. $50.
Yeah. So he's pouting that nobody wants to spend any money on him, and I'm sure he's in the middle of feeling very sorry for himself. So, all right. So let's go back to June 8th. It's pretty much what I would have guessed. He's, just, I don't know. I feel like he's just kind of hinting around about like he's in bad shape and wanting somebody to feel sorry for him about it. Okay, so again on the 8th, so Ernest, he chimed in, he said, "I love you" to Sonia. And then Sonia came right back on the 8th and said, "Hi, babe, thinking about you all day and missing you like crazy. I love you more." Okay, she's got her exclamation marks all through here and everything. And then again on the 8th, she said, "You make me happy, beyond happy, mine, exclamation mark." And again, well, no, so the day ends on the 8th. And we pick up on June 10th. So again, Sonia is writing Nesto, and she said, "Good afternoon, my love. I'm over the kids' house, and I know why." No. Oh, okay. Here, yeah, that's what she said. "And I know why don't leave my apartment often." So I guess it should have been, "I know why I don't leave my apartment often. This medical condition keeps me where I need to be by a bathroom, like when I first got home. I can't wait to spend my days with you. We only hung out a few times. I'm truly excited for us. I think real estate is the way to go, even if it's not in Georgia. Texas has good prices. I just need this chapter to begin, for us to live the not so simple life. Can't wait to spoil you. I love you more today." Ooh, how you gonna spoil Nesto? Girl, you is dreaming. You can't spoil him. I think that's interesting right here when she says this medical condition keeps me where I need to be by a bathroom, like when I first got home. And then you have all this other romantic stuff to say. Don't nobody want to hear about that in the middle of that type of conversation. I mean, I just don't think that that's a good place to put that in. I said what I said. He wants people to send him money to talk to a stalker. Well, I'll just be darned. Oh my gosh. I'll just be darned. Olivia only says 1 year later and living their best life. I guess that didn't go as planned. It absolutely did not. This thing has stretched out in so much worse than, I think Nesto, because when you know what you did, you know what you did, you know what you've been up to. So I feel like he was just hoping against hope that all of his stuff wouldn't get found out, and especially that he would be able to get out on bond so he could be free, maybe do some running, perhaps, because I don't know. I just, in my opinion, I just know that he knows what all he really did. No matter what he says, he knows what he did. So it's just like, but I think it is much worse than he even could have imagined if he imagined getting in trouble for, whatever he thought he could have gotten in trouble for. I think it has to be, because not only are you in trouble, not only have you not been able to get out on bond, not only is the bond so high, you won't be getting out on bond. And then it's turned into a RICO, and then you can't talk to anybody privately. You never could anyway, but now it's like out for the public, all of your dealings, everybody finding out about everybody and everything you've been talking about. So it's just so much worse. It's so much worse. My goodness. Uh-oh. Don't come here, stay where you are. I heard that. And it's not even all that cheap anymore. So everybody can stop thinking Texas is so cheap, because I think we about caught up with the rest of the US. Let's see. Vic to the Veil says you can't spoil a scammer as they feel they're due and trying to get everyone you have. She's silly or everything. Yeah. She must not have really looked at that Instagram if she thinks she's gonna spoil him. Hey Sonny, thank you so much for stopping by. And hey Muffin, thank you so much for stopping by, y'all. Okay, so we're in the middle of this reading. I just had to stop because this is something else. Okay, so yeah, she's in the middle of telling him all this, I can't wait to be with you. But then we're also talking about going to the bathroom a lot and needing to be by the bathroom. Okay, so they didn't text anymore on the 10th, and it moved to June the 12th. And so on June the 12th, Sonia again tells Nesto, "Good morning, babe. I can't sleep, or I'm not sleepy yet. I have some errands to run tomorrow, so I need to find sleep. You are constantly on my mind. Can't wait for the next chapter. Love you." And then on the 12th, so he didn't answer back, not in the text messages anyway. So then on the 12th, Sonia writes Nesto, "I sent the information to PI." Okay. And then nothing else on the 12th. And then on the 13th, Sonia writes Nesto again and says, "I love you. No matter what, we solid." So he hasn't written anything in a while. And guess what? On the 14th of June 2023, Nesto writes Shirley. So here it looks like this is one that Shirley refers back to. Okay, let me get a little drink of tea. I'm gonna need some energy for this one. Oh, no, he didn't, y'all. I don't know if y'all are looking at this with me, but he starts this out like he started out that other message to Sonia. "Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey." So he writes to Shirley, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my elegant lady. Just wanted to give you something that would make you smile, even in these hard times we are facing. Thought hard about this next line. Pretty sure it's true. If you take a step toward your freedom, God will take steps toward you. With that being said, I would like for you to go back in time with me. I'm in total understanding of the position you're in mentally. There's been plenty of times in my life where I've had to shut down and, in a sense, isolate myself from people to get a clear understanding on how I was going to delegate my next moves. It is necessary, being that no one can interrupt your thoughts as well as you can spend that alone time to communicate with God, He will definitely point you in the right direction. I'm which He could ask you to do things that you might not want to do. Okay, let's say that again. He will definitely point you in the right direction. Maybe he meant in which he could ask you to do things that you might not want to do, but will be totally in your best interest. Things like cut people off who mean you no good and take up space in your life. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. No, he didn't. Y'all know he talking about Debbie. Why is he talking about Debbie right here? This is a mess. Okay, I'm going to pick up where I left off. Things like cut people off who mean you no good and take up space in your life. Family members and loose lip individuals. He could ask you to abstain from materialistic things that can literally become liabilities in your life. I'm saying this to say that solitude with God is always a great tool for one's frame of mind, so that you can take a deep look and reflect and work to cleanse yourself of negative things that the devil may try to use to demonize you. The end of that one, y'all. That was loaded. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. So he's sitting here telling her in the word, he's telling her that, God, this God may have you needing to cut people off, and because these people take up space in your life, and it could be family members or it could be loose lip people. Because he's always thinking that people are telling Shirley something. You know what really just annoys me personally? I mean, it's not me, but it just does annoy me personally, because it's like he thinks that she can't think for herself. She doesn't need people to tell her what's going on. This is affecting her. Like, all of this stuff is affecting her in her life. And it's as if he thinks she is a shell of a person. She doesn't have her own mind, her own mindset. She doesn't know to move her hand if the fire is burning her. Like, that's literally how he treats her when he says this thing all the time about people being in her ear. This woman is older than him. She's kept herself alive all this time, kept herself with a good job. Obviously, she hasn't made a lot of some other good decisions, but like, if something is hurting somebody, especially, they know if it's hurting them. They know if it's getting to be too much or whatever. They don't need somebody in their ear to tell them, now look, it's getting a little bit hot in this situation. No, they feel it. She knows she lives over there with, is she still at, no, she's not at Tosh and Ronald's anymore, but she was, she was with them for a long time. No car, no money to buy shoes, all this old silly stuff. When she is who she is and makes the type of money that she makes as far as a salary. So that's just, that is very, that's very insulting. That's extremely insulting to think that she doesn't know how to think for herself enough to see her way into and out of a situation if she needs to. I'm gonna see what y'all are saying in a second, but he goes on. He goes on and he says, ideally, your objective is to strengthen your faith in God. Okay, wait a minute. So that's 6:14. This is 6:14. That was at 10:40. This is 10:53. Okay. So he says, ideally, your objective is to strengthen your faith in God. That is done by seeking a strong relationship with him so you can deepen your connection with him. Praying and reading his word are the tools used to help so that in time, God can reveal himself to you in such a way that is so real that you cannot deny his existence. See? He done left himself, y'all. This is not Nesto anymore. He's got punctuation in here and everything. This is not him anymore. But he goes on to say, once this experience happens, your faith and belief is strengthened to a point that when you begin to speak things that are positive over your life, they then begin to manifest. All right, Shirley? They then begin to manifest. As I am writing this, they, in this very moment, had called me out for an attorney visit unexpectedly. In my visit, I was told to keep my faith essentially. Things like this that happen unexpectedly gives me confirmation in my belief that God is intact, showing up for me. Maybe he meant to say, in fact, showing up for me. So whatever major decision you have to make at this moment, treat like an ultimatum. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So whatever major decision you have to make at this moment, comma, treat like an ultimatum. Trust whatever decision you make 1000% and know that if your heart is righteous and pure, that God is behind it. Don't make an irrational decision because of your emotions. Ask God to guard your heart. Even if you have to sacrifice me for the betterment of yourself, God will always do more for you than I could ever possibly think I could. And then somebody in earnest stead because this ain't Ernest, y'all. This is not Ernest. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's he got a hold to an AI tool or my thought is that this is a person helping. He might even have, given them some something that they didn't have, some soup or some cookies or honey bun or something to help him with his writing. But this is someone in Ernest's stead. This is not Ernest. But he goes on at 10:59 on June 14th, and he says, our anniversary is the 16th of this month in 2 days. You told me 9 years ago that if you ever died and if I chose to marry another woman, comma, that I should never lower my standards to something under how beautiful and amazing you are. So the same goes for you. I heard somebody else read this now that I'm reading this one part right here. But anyway, I digress. So the same goes for you. Even after me, God forbid, never settle for nothing lower than me. Stay in grace and greatness. That is what our Lord would want you to have. May God be with you. Period. My lady in the clouds. It was Fran. I know now that my lady in the clouds. May God be with you, my lady in the clouds. I love you forever. From your magic man, Big Nesto. Y'all, this is crazy. And the very next sentence, Shirley answers him back finally, and she says, I don't have any money. Boom. As someone just said that she said when she said the other thing, boom. Y'all, okay, I'm back. Coming back over to the chat. I know I missed a lot. Oh my God. So Sunshine says, hey, Sunshine. If you just came in not too long ago, thank you so much for stopping by. Of course, we're reading these text messages, and I had started out with the ultimatum call, and where, Nesto was trying to get Shirley to give him some decision. And so then we're looking at the text message surrounding that call, because in the call, Shirley referred to no, it was actually Nesto referred to him reaching out to her in text, and she didn't say anything. And then he told Dre um, that she had only sent a couple of dry texts. So we're just looking to see what was actually being said and how those texts were lining up over there around this time. Okay, so Penny Proud says, this around this time Shirley told him she was done. Yes. And I played little snippets of these calls. Let me unshare this, because this June 4th call, he may have ended up saying something else important, but basically he's just talking to Sonya, sounding dejected. Stop sharing. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Muff Moon. And speaking. Okay. Maybe he has multiple personalities and one of them can read and write. Y'all. Oh my gosh. Y'all. That's crazy. Okay, I don't want to just laugh uncontrollably. So let me take a little sip of my tea. Oh my Lord, because that was funny. Okay, Shebe says, why is he telling this to Sonya? Maybe trying to convert her to Christian. No, he's talking to Shirley at that point. And wait a minute, but I don't know where you were. I feel like he hadn't really said much to Sonya in this reading. So if you're talking about most of what I just read, he was sending all that to Shirley. Shirley was not responding, though. He was just saying all that stuff. And then finally she told him, I don't have any money. Let's see. In my opinion, I think he has an intelligent inmate writing for him. I do too. I've known a couple of people, and probably more than a couple of people, that have been in jail. And I feel like they, they come up with these talents that they want you to think they always had. But if you know the person, you know that they can't draw and stuff like that, but you go to jail and all of a sudden you can draw and you have this beautiful artwork that you're sending people through the mail. And it's like, hey, I know you can't draw. Like, just say you got somebody to draw it for you, paid them, or you paid them with something, some food, or something. But I know you can't draw. The delusional gang. Man, oh man. Muff Moon says he'll try anything right about now. Yeah, he was his cellmate. Yeah, he was working his jelly. He was working it. Yeah, it was definitely to Shirley. And I guess, you know what? I guess I could put it up. I saw her watermark on there. But you know what? I was reading another content creator's that indictment, the RICO, all those RICO acts. So I guess I could put it up. I didn't think about that. Let's see. Sausage for cereal. Yeah, that's what exactly. See, he's in the loop of knowing how to trade. And y'all know Nesto he's been in and out of jail, but he was in prison for a long time. He know how to trade and get people to do whatever. And then also he was using somebody else's a dramatic reading. Also, he was using somebody else's whole phone privileges, right? Because they were trying to duck and dodge, not wanting not wanting the prosecution to hear his phone calls. So he was even using somebody else's phone setup. She couldn't get much lower than him. She really couldn't. She really couldn't. Shirley said, I don't have any money. You over there performing, dancing, putting on. This is a desperate man. He will lie, steal, or even kill to save himself. He is a monster. And I just how did he think that she wasn't going to know that that wasn't him? If you're pouring your heart out, at least pour your heart out honestly. I mean, that's not going to help for you to be even more dishonest and have somebody else write it for you or something. But just some of that, the way that was flowing, it just seems like he would have had to have told somebody what he wanted to say, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, you need to, yeah, let's say this. If this is what you want to say, this is a better way to say it. Behind bars, still on his scamming duties. Okay, all right, so we're gonna let's see what was said a little bit after that part. A little bit after that part. Right, using somebody else's PIN number. He's using other people's phone privileges and other names to get mail and tablet time. Wow. If he was out, I do believe that harm would have come to Shirley if he was facing prison. I do too. Not even necessarily. I think maybe harm would have come to her. Even if just on the financial, just like the whole financial bind end, because it seems like things were getting desperate. They were floating, living in these houses and getting evicted and, living there for stretches of time and getting evicted. And so, but it seems like at the time when he got arrested, it was all kind of crashing down. And yeah, I have my concerns about what was he gonna do if he hadn't got arrested and all, and not been able to come up with some type of plan to put it all back together again. I don't know. Maybe he would have just done the same thing in another location or something like that. But I don't know. It's just like any type of a Ponzi scheme. Eventually, it just all comes crashing down because at some point you can't keep juggling the things. You can't keep taking from down here and popping it up there, and just at some point you're going to be out. You're going to run out, and that's when I feel like I kind of fear for whatever he was going to come up with next. All right, so let's go back to let me see. I would really like to, let me see. If I pop that out, no, it's not going to work. I'm looking at this on the wrong program. Okay, for the next reading, I'll definitely pull it up on the right, under whatever I'm under, Google or Google Chrome, and then so we can all look at it, so y'all can see too who he's saying these things to. But anyway, picking up on the 14th, after Shirley says she didn't have any money at 16:53. What's that, about 4:53 in the afternoon? And then Sonia comes in with her text message at 19:15, and she says, "What happened to Forish? What happened to Forish? Missing you." Well, at Forish, he's reeling, holding his head, still trying to figure out why he's not able to swindle this wife of his. So yeah, Sonia chimed in and said, "What happened to Forish? Missing you." And so then at 19:22, Nesto answers, he doesn't answer Sonia. He answers Shirley back at 19:22. And he says, "How's things tonight? And can you tell me everything that's going on? I get a free call on Monday." Y'all, I think the guy's off duty because all the periods and stuff are disjointed. It's not lining up the same as it was. So I think that person, maybe he didn't have anything else to pay him or something. But he says, "I get a free call on Monday. You just have to answer it. No period." See, the other writing, it was perfectly punctuated, commas, periods, capital letters where they're supposed to be, hardly any misspellings and stuff. And this is disconnected. So, all right. Let's see. Get a free call on Monday. You just have to answer it. I love you, and everything is going to be okay in Jesus' name. There's a period, but it's like two spaces and then a period. And then he says, "I know you are." No, he does say how. "I know how you are when you don't have any money. All this will pass. All this will soon pass and be back to our normal life. ARE, normal life." So yeah. Yeah, I think his helper was off duty by that point. Okay, so I've lost my place. Just a second. Bear with me. Forgive me here. Okay, so he said all that. Okay, so that was the 14th. Now the day of the 14th has ended, and we'll move on to the 15th. And I'll look for a good stopping space because I know we've been here for a good minute. Okay, June 15th. This is Ernest writing to Sonia. "I love you. Have a good day." And then this is Sonia writing to Ernest on the 15th. "I love you more today." And then on the 16th, Sonia writes to Ernest, "I love you. Hope your day is brighter and filled with peace of mind." And then on the 16th, Ernest writes, "Sonia, I love you. I'm getting there one day at a time." Okay, there's something called General Metro by Sonia on the 17th. Not sure what that is. And then on the 18th, Sonia writes Nesto. Let me get some tea. Hang on. Okay, on the 18th, Sonia writes, Nesto, I don't want you asking anyone outside your immediate circle for money. I'll send you what you need. I got you. I feel some way that he pushed your request off him. Just say you don't have it, not call your peeps. It's not a problem for me to help you, and I don't hold favors over people's head. It's from the heart. I love you. And then again on the 18th of June 2023, Sonia writes, Nesto, happy Father's Day to an amazing dad, a loving parent, and a great mentor for all his babies. Ooh, girl. Okay. You're loved. You are loved and appreciated. Uh okay. And then on the 18th of June 2023, uh Nesto writes, Sonia, thank you so much. I love you. And then we'll go ahead and stop here. At the 18th of June 2023, Sonia writes, Nesto, $100 on your commissary. Child. I looked over here and saw this word, bingo. Oh, he's getting there, falling in love. Okay, let's see what y'all are talking about up in here. Muff Moon says, fake love. The text he was sending to the stalker sounds like he had plenty of new scams waiting to launch. He did. Okay. Been a fool a time or two, never jeopardize my space. Where I rest, that's my happy place home. That's good. I said what I said. His writer went to the hole for a day or so. His writer was off. I mean, that was too close for comfort. You can't do all of that flowery, just perfect, perfect writing, perfect everything, and then come right back the same day. Hello, cool weather farmer. Thank you so much for stopping by. Texas Toy Helper made bond. Helper probably did. We're gonna have to read on and see see what happens, if it goes back and forth or if it just cuts off somewhere and he's back to his old self. He's back to the killing part. Oh gosh. Okay. Oh, you're talking to her. I feel the same way. It's like she's hypnotized. Okay, that's where I came in. Oh gosh. I mean, that's being a little presumptuous. You let his kids tell. She didn't even come around him and his kids when he was, when she was whatever they were doing, wherever they were doing it at. She said herself she didn't even go around his kids. She had never met any of his people. So you're being very presumptuous to say, tell him how wonderful of a father and mentor and all that. It's like, get out of here. I'm sorry. You don't have to tell me you're getting there. I'm done with you. Oh boy. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, let's see. Oh, this was a good live, an hour and 25. Does anybody, I know a lot of people are maybe working or maybe otherwise tied up and not able to hop on, but does anybody want to hop on? I'll drop the link if so. Let me know if anybody wants to come up and have any comments, concerns. You can ask a question, but I might not be able to answer it. If I can, I will. Let's see. I bet if and when, I have to big this up. I bet if and when he gets out, he is running away from the stalker. You know that if he was able, let's just imagine he had like some benefactor, some invisible benefactor that didn't want to be named or something, and somebody swooped in and was able to get him out on bond. So I guess he'd have to live somewhere. I don't know who he'd live with unless he'd live with that person, whoever got him out. But by now, definitely, I really don't think he would want to. I think he would be trying to come up with every excuse in the book to not have to live with Sonia. Hold on for just a minute, and then I'll see when I get right back if anybody wants to come up. Just a second. And I'm back. Okay. Uh-oh. I'm back with no glasses, though I cannot see. Okay, there we go. Let's see what y'all are talking about. Okay, he's going. Okay, so I'm just going to put this. I'm going to put this invite in here. If nobody's able to come up and give any perspectives today, that's fine. Just want to give opportunity while I'm here. Paste. Yeah, because I mean, so many things are more apparent now than they were, a long time ago. He knows now he can't get a word in edgewise. He would probably end up hurting her because I know he would still be out on bond, and he would still be very frustrated and stressed. So her little $100 on his books means jack to that wannabe pimp. Yep. I know he thought a good singer. Oh, thank you. Well, actually, I don't really have a singing voice at all. It's just that, I have to sing the pieces so that I can say what I want to say. I don't have access to somebody who can just really sing. So I'm like, well, I have to just do the best I can. But yeah, I thought that was funny. I thought y'all would think that that was funny too. So I keep running it. I even thought about, I have a producer actually that helps me with my gospel rap stuff whenever I do one of those. And I thought about going to the real studio so that I could so that it'll have better sound quality, because I literally use this microphone right here and my iPad and my GarageBand app to do that. So I was like, yeah, I could go to the studio. Okay, I said what I said is coming up. I see you now. I didn't see you. Let me add you to the stage. And welcome.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good. I need a nap, but I feel good and lively right now. When I stop talking, it'll probably all go away.
That part. Or if you go lay down, it'll all go away. That's what happens to
Mhm.
me when I get sleepy.
Mhm. Absolutely. So, what are your thoughts on, I guess, pretty much any part of this? We have so many pieces. We got the cases, we got the text, we got, the calls, just all the foolishness part, and then we got the Rico case, the other cases. It's a lot going on. So, what are you thinking?
Tubi, here we come.
Mm.
I think we're gonna make him famous. Somebody said that in I was
Somebody said,
yeah,
yeah.
somebody said that on somebody's video because I'm doing replays and
Mm-hmm.
listening live, but I also read comments. And somebody said that too. We're gonna mess around and make him famous, and I really believe that
Mm-hmm.
this story is gonna go way further than him and her want this to go. And poor Shirley, but unfortunately she's in this saga also.
Yeah.
So it's gonna go way farther than any of them ever thought, especially with it going national. And once he go to trial, everybody gonna be talking about it. I feel like.
Yeah. And I was thinking one day how some people that aren't kind of tapped into it now,
Hmm.
later on when he does go to trial or when it starts getting closer, and then when they are able to search all the things that have been going on,
Hmm.
it's gonna be an eye opener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. I actually, reading those texts, um, you actually kind of feel sorry for him if the story is true about him and his conditions and the way he was treated when he first got in there.
Mm,
Because, I understand that, anybody that do wrong should do their time, but they're also humans also. And this is,
mm-hmm.
the good old United States of America. And so I'm not saying that you have to treat them like they're at the Taj Mahal, but, you can treat them with humane conditions. Uh,
Yeah, absolutely. Because anybody could end up in jail. I mean, I know we hear Sonya say that all the time, and but on some fluke or some situation, so anybody could end up there. You do want to know that you're going to have at least decent conditions. I mean, you're in jail, but at the
mhm.
same time, I feel like taking your freedom is the punishment, but I don't know that the punishment should also be just this, super substandard living conditions that most people wouldn't have their dog, in some of the living conditions that they talked about Erica being in, right? So, so yeah, that just doesn't seem right. That part of it, and like the Fulton County Jail part. Um, but it just seems to me like Georgia has some work that they need to do overall with their whole criminal justice system, from the
Yeah.
way that everything, people that know law and people that practice law in other states even talk about the Georgia laws.
Well, I don't know about the laws, because I hadn't really paid too much of attention to them. But you're absolutely right. Like taking what 3 to 4 months to give somebody a bond once you lock them up. That shouldn't be right. Everybody should
Mhm.
have the opportunity to bond out. And even if you have a high bond, you still should give everybody a bond and give them an opportunity, to bond out if they can. Now, as far as the conditions, yeah, that's just inhumane. You shouldn't go um, into jail and then come out with some type of chronic condition because you were mistreated.
Mm-hmm.
You know that shouldn't fly with anybody, regardless.
Yeah.
And when you unalive somebody or you do something horrific to them, like some of the charges that he have, the SA or whatever, then deal with that accordingly. You know, because most of the time when people unalive someone, most of the time they get the DP penalty anyway. They get
Mm-hmm.
DP, so they'll get their judgment. And to me, I think we even take too long to do that, because keeping somebody on DP for 20 years, just think of the stress of that. You got to count your days down.
Yeah, it's definitely a torture. It's
Yeah.
it's definitely a lot of torture. It seems like it goes into it, and today maybe more than ever, and that might have a lot to do with how we're doing our criminal justice system. I don't know, because I'm no criminal justice major, or I don't really look into it that much, but I do know that there's lots of parts to it that are somewhat privately owned, and I don't know. I don't know how you can regulate a system like that if you let it be, uh, different people sort of own it or rent it out, or like, how can you have any real regulations for it?
Well, it used to be it didn't used to be privatized. The state used to run all of the systems,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it seemed like it was a little bit better when the states was running it versus the private people, because the private people got in there, and it's about money.
I
And
agree.
it seems like since it got privatized, you start putting more people in jail. And in my opinion, it's the new institution for slavery. That's just my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
because more than 50% of the people that are locked up are people of color. But on the flip side of all of this, they
Mm-hmm.
do give you opportunity after opportunity after opportunity not to be in there also.
Right.
They do give you a lot of chances, and it's not like they just lock you up and throw away the key. Like in Nesto's situation, he had plenty of times where they just, kind of let it slide or let it ride, and then once it just piled up too high, then that's when they put him in jail. And so, with the conditions being that they are in Fulton, they ought to have a bunch of angels and saints. There's no way I would take a lollipop in Fulton County, the way those conditions are, and with
Uh,
and with and with the people, it's a lot of prisoners that haven't been so lucky and became unalive, in
mm-hmm.
those conditions, and they just, to me, just the South period just need to reform altogether. The criminal justice system in the South uh, needs to be reformed. I heard Rikers is pretty bad in New York, but you don't hear about so many of the jails being in inhumane conditions, in the
In
North, like
other
you do in the
states.
South. Yeah, in other
Mm-hmm.
states. And so
Yeah.
I just think that they just need to do a little bit more, do a better job in housing these people, because prison is supposed to be about reforming people and transforming them to be somebody different than what they were when they went in there. And it's not that at all. I don't see people being reformed. I just see them being housed as,
Mm-hmm.
less than humane conditions, and I just don't agree with that. But now, if you do whatever I'm fully on board with everybody doing their time if they do the crime. I'm not, against that at all, because us as citizens who don't break the law, we have a right to be safe also.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll actually hear, or I want to say I've heard two people that have been to jail. Somebody just here recently, it might have even been on a video.
Hmm.
Um, but then also somebody that I know that said, you know what, a lot of those people need to be in there. So, And, people will tell you, yeah, I needed to be in there. Maybe not, for as long as I stayed, but I needed to be in there. A lot of those people need to be in there. Um, but, it's just for how long and under what conditions.
Right.
But, I'm no lobbyist. So, I
Right.
guess I don't have that much passion about it, because when you do, then you go and you tell somebody and you start doing something about it politically. Um, but yeah, I would think that it should definitely be better than a torture type situation, like something that you would find in another country other than ours.
That part. And that's all I'm saying. But yeah, they need to be in I'm sure it's a lot of people that need to be in there that's in there. And also too, I just feel like that you got a lot of people with mental health in there. And instead of helping people mentally, you just throw them in jail. So it's just like a revolving door. But as far as Nesto though, he said he still have ties with Andy, right? I don't know if you read the
Andy,
Texas. Yeah, he said
I don't.
he still have um, access to Andy from Bravo.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm not on those. Do you know what date that was around? Because I'll certainly look it up.
I really can't remember because me and Vicky did like 2 nights of it,
Mm-hmm.
and I was up there clowning and acting a fool, so I have no idea.
What time does Vicky do her live? I've been clicking on the little live at the top of YouTube to try to see who all is on and when, but I haven't been able to keep up with when she actually does hers.
She's been doing them in the evenings, but I don't think she have a set time
Oh,
of
okay.
when she's doing them. But she's done them. Um, at least after 7 o'clock. I've noticed that she's done them after that time.
Okay.
And kind of later in the evening is when she's done them. But I have we have the PDF file of all of the texts, and just I think it was
Mm-hmm.
I think in December maybe. I don't know. It was when he was telling her about all her businesses and what she can do, and saying that he had ties with Andy, and Andy making help him out with one of his adventures. And so
Wow. I'm gonna do the next one now. Wow. Boy,
wow,
he better stop, because
what?
in all this time, why hadn't you contacted anybody that you know then? I know who did he try to get Sonya to contact at one time?
Mississippi Monica.
Mississippi Monica.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, but he could have reached out to any of these people. I mean, I'm pretty sure they still can send a paper letter.
I'm sure nobody probably want to be associated with him.
Yeah, he's just bumping his gums.
And I feel like that's why Shirley never said anything, because she want this to be as quiet as possible, even though it's not quiet. She
Mm-hmm.
wanted to go, and I understand her. She wanted to go away, but it's not going anywhere. So she may as well come on out and make a statement and just say she's, removed herself from the situation. She's no longer involved with him, even though she said it on the show, when she did her confession, when Steve made her apologize for nothing, and
Mm-hmm.
made it all about him and Marjorie instead of Shirley and Ernest. But she's gonna have to come out and say a little bit more, especially if I was her. I would come out before he go to trial, because I feel like once he go to trial, it's gonna blow up.
Yeah. Now, I don't know what she has to do as far as her and Steve's advertisers, because, when you're under those contracts, who knows what the contract says that you have to do or not partake in or whatever. But I would love to see her. I would love to see her come out and sort of make light of it like we do. Um, on some level, maybe she can't go through everything, but I mean, because it's here. I mean, it's kind of no need in acting like it's not. Um, Maybe not going through all the stuff, because I think that would probably be really painful for her, because she did. We see that she really believed that she was in a real relationship. But I think she could. I think she could do something, with the help of like a publicist or something, and maybe shift some of these people to patronize something. Maybe she could come out with something and make her some money. I mean, I don't know,
Well, I'm
something.
thinking, I'm thinking she might already have a publicist, and they're telling her not to say anything because it seemed like she's operating on the old school way, as far as how
Mm,
the stars used to act.
mm-hmm. Yep.
They back in the day, the stars just didn't address anything unless it was absolutely necessary. So it seems like that's the way that she's operating on how they used to act back in the day,
Yeah, yeah.
as far as
I think you're
publicist.
right because that's her. That seems to be her. Across the board,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of private and yeah, y'all hear me and see me, but that's my work, and then this is my private life, and
Yeah.
I don't have to discuss that with y'all. If I don't, even if you're discussing it, I don't have to discuss it. On one of those calls when she said, she told Nesto they're that the bloggers are doing what they're doing, that's their job, and that's what they should be doing, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what their job is. So I like to see that she seemed like she kind of took up for the content creators and people on social media more than Steve did.
Yeah, because she understands.
Mm-hmm.
She understand the market, and she understand why people are doing what they're doing. She know that that's what they do now. She know that social media is the new news outlet.
Mm-hmm.
And really, social media, a lot of times they do have some, although they have conspiracy theories, a lot of times though, most of these content creators on any social media platform try to get correct information, and they show
Right.
documents, and it's a little bit more factual than the actual news is, because the actual news have a guideline that they follow, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't give you the real stories.
Right. Right. A lot of times, and we can actually be in touch with the very person that is giving you the tip and the leak, and that I feel like they give more information on social media when there's a tip to something that's going on behind the scenes than the news will. They won't go that deep.
Yeah. And they purposely leave things out.
I believe that.
Yeah,
I
because,
believe that. I don't know anybody in media, but I definitely believe that.
well, also, if you'll notice, like let's just say something is out about the Orange Man. They all report on it, but they all report on it in their way, as far as their platforms go.
Mhm.
As far as them, like they'll report the news, and then they'll have their opinion people on there, right?
Mhm.
And everybody have their style, like CNN, MSNBC, and Fox. Fox, I don't even consider them a news channel anymore with all the propaganda that they have. But that's just my opinion, and whoever listens to Fox, that's fine. And I'm talking about the Fox cable channel, because Fox local still operate like a normal news cycle
Like
does,
regular.
like
Mhm. Yep.
regular. It's just the cable Fox that's way out there in left field. And
Yeah.
so they all have the same story. And if you'll notice, they all run the same story along the same lines, and they don't really, deviate from that
Mhm.
too much
Yeah.
as far as the main story goes. So that's what I was saying. And you just get a different variety when you do it with content creators, because to me, content creators try to be as accurate and factual as possible, and they
As
try
we
to show you
know.
the documents as you
Mhm.
can. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
some of them have conspiracy theories, and that's just going to be out there no matter what medium you listen to. You're always going to have people with conspiracy theories.
Right. I
But
like
it,
this comment from Cool Weather Farmer. She says, through this sad experience, Shirley has helped a lot of people learn what not to do. And I totally agree with that. I feel like, I know we talk about it and it's fun and funny and whatever it is, sad sometimes, but I hope that everybody is picking up, all the nuggets, because the truth is we don't always just make all the right decisions. When we see somebody making some really bad ones, it's easy to look at them, but we're not always just conscientious of every little thing either. So yeah, I completely agree with that. I think it's helping people and kind of pushing you too, because if I was dating somebody new, even I'm married, but I mean, it just kind of helps you to like open your eyes, like, are your eyes
Yeah.
open wide enough? Are you looking at everything you need to be looking at? Are you checking? Are you looking? If you're single, you need to be looking, even if you're married, kind of like almost, especially if you're married, because she was married, thought she was married and everything. Um, but yeah, we need to kind of make sure we take the lessons as well, because you'd like to think that you're doing everything that you need to be doing, but a lot of times we might not be. But
That's true.
yeah.
And I heard you say, um, everybody plays the fool at one time. So, Shirley is not an exception to the rule.
That's right.
But I also heard people say that she was warned beforehand about this man.
Mm, wow.
Shortly after they was married, he went to, he got in trouble, and then she tried to expunge some of his record. So I feel like
Hmm.
she knew exactly who she was dealing with, but and she said it so much herself. She said, I thought you put all those things behind you. You remember when he
Hmm.
first got locked up on the phone call? She said, when she was saying that everybody thought he was guilty, when a detective was telling her she didn't know who she was married to,
Hmm.
and she was like, and people change, honey, people change, and you've been nothing but nice to me, but
Well,
but if you
you,
honest with yourself, honey, did he change? Because he was locked up 3 months after y'all got married. So is that really a change?
you know what? You could almost write a book on all of the things that she could have seen and not seen, and the reasons why. Because I have a lot, I mean, I got arguments for both. I got her age, and maybe where she's from, maybe her mentality. She might just not be checking for a lot of things because of her, just the way that she is and normally operates. But then again, I have the other side that, with age, and knowing who you are, and knowing that you really want to protect your brand and your image, then you can't afford to just be how you want to be about it. You can't even afford to do that. You have to look into the background. You have to take that into consideration. And that's extremely unwise not to. So, I don't know. It's a toss up with me, because I could say, well, this, but then on the other hand, that. So I don't know
Right.
where she was going with this relationship, because the man, just practically, like they can't really even go into the same places together and operate, because he could barely talk.
Well, I said this in the beginning. Shirley was never eligible to date uh this guy because she had waited 15, 20 years to date somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And no shade to Atlanta, but Atlanta has been known as one of the cities where they have a lot of scammers.
Right.
A lot of people around, a lot of the other states around the country are catching up. But Atlanta was known for the scamming capital. And so you should have been extra careful, especially if you're going to get somebody, in this day and time. They even have a show called Catfish with all the schemes and scams that's going on. why didn't you do, why didn't you, dot a few more I's and cross a few more T's and do a little bit more digging and checking? And, and then why would you marry somebody, 6 months to a year after you met them
Yeah.
in this climate that we have today? Because now anybody can be anything on social media. And I feel like I feel like she got hoodwinked by social media also. I think she looked at his page and thought he was making moves, thought he was
Even
making big,
just
big
being
boss
a even
moves.
just being a regular barber, because I notice sometimes when a woman is a little bit more successful, she doesn't mind if the man is not as successful because she doesn't need him to be. Now Shirley, on the other hand, we know she had a taste for the very elite. So, as far as her taste and the lifestyle that she wanted to be in. So, it would just really seem like she would not have gone for a glorified barber, because at that point anyway, it looks like that's what he had going. His barbering business and all the different ways he was stretching it out to make it bigger and grander, but that really seems like that's all he had going: the mobile barbershop, the 24-hour barbershop. Um, I don't think the security came along until he got with her. So I don't know. It would just seem like she wouldn't really go for that because she wanted so much of a more grand life. But again, she did.
Well, I don't feel like that's what she looked at him as. I feel like she looked at him as an entrepreneur,
Mm.
because remember he had several businesses going on, and I'm
What
pretty
else was
sure.
he doing when they met other than just those, different
Well,
styles
hell,
of
he wasn't really
men's
no barber.
grooming?
Well, hell, Kelly, he wasn't really no barber, but as far as what he told her, now who knows what he told her?
Well, he had a documentary where he was sitting there cutting hair.
But was he a real barber? He ain't with the barber school. And so it was always a scam. So I'm thinking she thought she had an entrepreneur,
Mm,
not looked at him as a barber, because it's a difference in being a barber and owning the barber shop, right?
okay.
Just like Ebony said, she wouldn't date a bus driver, but she'll date somebody that owned the buses.
Sure did.
Same
Mm-hmm.
analogy, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? He when you get to reading all those texts, you'll see how with the ideas that he has, some of them are tangible, but he doesn't want to follow through and do it the right way. But he do have some good ideas on some of the things that he was talking about, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure that's what he ran down to Shirley. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
level you up. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
level you up. We're gonna
Oh,
level up.
selling the dream. Okay.
Selling the dream. That's
Selling
exactly
the
what it is.
dream.
Sold her
Okay. Yeah.
dream. You know,
It
and
makes sense. I didn't read this myself. I heard somebody else reading where he was talking about having that might have been Vicky. Um he was talking about doing a women's empowerment to show women how to be how to be there. Do you remember this at all? To show women, coach women on how to be better with their man or please their man better.
oh my lord, no. He is the
It's
last
in here.
person.
I'm gonna have to find it, but he talked about getting together like a women's meeting, like some sort of big empowerment type. This is my mind. Now it could be said different in what he wrote, but in my mind I was thinking he was talking about holding these camps or holding like conferences where he gets the women together and sort of teaches them how to treat their man. And I think he was telling this to Sonya. And I was just imagining Sonya just freaking out in her head, like, oh my God, he's going to be around all these women.
That part.
And they're going to take my man. But, I really don't think we have to worry about Nesto being free. I'm just wondering how. I mean, it would take a miracle, several.
I
So
don't
I
think he's gonna get that much time though. I don't think he's gonna get as much time as we thought as we feel like he's gonna get. Because just like
really,
that bishop guy just,
even with the young lady and
well, they
her.
haven't even been indicted yet. He hasn't even been indicted on that. That's just
I
those
know. I
those
think
are
it
just
will be
charges.
though. I think it's just par for the course that they take as long as they want to indict those cases because they have that fast and speedy thing, and they know once the indictment is in, they can take that thing to court so fast. So, I think that's the idea behind them not indicting and just waiting, their whole waiting period out and then indicting at the end when they have their case together. And if the person says, okay, I want a fast and speedy trial, they're ready.
Yeah.
But,
Well, I feel like he's gonna get about 10 to 15 years at max, and he's very resilient, and he'll make it. Trust me, he will.
oh, yeah, I think he'll make it.
Yeah,
Uh-oh,
he's
what are you
made it
doing?
before, so he'll make it. I mean, just because he's at a later age doesn't mean he doesn't know how to do it. So he knows how to make it in prison, and he made it in Fulton. But I wanted to go back to that. I wanted to make a point about that.
Okay.
Um, as far as I was saying that Fulton is housing people like slaves. Just look at the difference with him when he said he f with the crackers.
Mm-hmm.
When they moved him to Roswell. I mean, like, why they can't have a jail like that? You know, you got
Yeah,
a lot of
he was
money.
excited to be there.
Well, yeah, because it's much safer and much cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
It is
I'm
still
pretty sure
jail, but
Fulton didn't have iPads. That and even the judge, we know this judge, Alex, Judge, whatever the judge's name. She
Manning,
was like, yeah,
Judge
Judge
Manning,
Manning. She was saying, yo, yeah, they do that. They do that tablet thing, that tablet mess. Basically, she was saying they do that tablet mess over there at Cobb County. Like almost like she didn't understand why they had such good accommodations.
that part. And so um, I'm just saying, they could do that every. I mean, it's a lot of jails I know in Texas they have those tablets now. And
Really?
so, yeah. So there's nothing there's no reason why you can't do that. You spending money anyway. And so,
I think this may be one good thing that perhaps comes out of this whole situation, just the light that's going to be on the jail system. So maybe, somebody will be inspired to go and maybe fight for some more rights or, show how certain things should be kind of back in the hands of the state so that it can be more regulated.
well, that's not going to change until you change your politicians, though. Because as long as you continue to elect the same politicians, things are going to stay the same
Hmm.
until the people make a change.
Yeah,
And
you're right. And I think people, like when people know better, well, sometimes they do better, sometimes not. but,
like right now,
but
they have a class action lawsuit against Fulton County, with the federal government investigating them.
hmm
But are they gonna, revamp their jails? Who knows? But you want to build a new cop city, for a new police station for them to police people. But when you do police them, and you house them, you want to house them in the slums, and that's just not kosher for me.
yeah, yeah. Well, I said what I said. Do you think you got a little lobbyist in you?
No, I don't have any lobbyists in me. First of all, I'm in Texas, so there's nothing I can do for Georgia. I have to, we got our own problems here in Texas that we need to work on.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I can't try to go handle another state when my state is not doing the right thing.
Definitely getting some. I don't know. It's deep here. You try to get. I know.
I think
A group of us. Go ahead.
the whole South need to be revamped, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was gonna say a group of us in my town, we tried to get rid of somebody on the school board, and we couldn't even get rid of her because it just, the ratio, it just wasn't enough to move the needle.
Yeah. I'm a little political. I've always voted and I always paid attention to politics. But until people get it in their minds, to go vote and to help themselves. I think everybody waiting on a savior. Martin Luther King is not coming back. Malcolm X is not coming back. And the new people that we got, like Al Sharpton, he on MSNBC. He's not that concerned about civil rights and stuff. So you don't really have anybody, fighting for the civil rights of the people. But the people have to fight for themselves because nobody's going to come in and rescue them. They're going to have to do that themselves. It
Yeah.
just it reminds me of the Jim Crow days when they didn't want us in their schools, right? And
Mhm.
the black schools, all of the black schools had to get the hand me down books and hand me down everything, desk and all of that. And that's what Fulton County reminds me of. You just get the hand me down jail and all the other people in other parts of the state they get better living conditions, but for y'all in y'all house, y'all gonna get the bottom of the barrel. And
Mhm.
it's been that way a long time. So and
They
it's
want a lot of people to leave. And that's nobody told me that. That's just something that I perceive. When somebody is treating you bad, oftentimes I think this about men, different men and how um the treatment can get so poor. And then I heard somebody on I don't know, a news station. It's been a few years ago, but I heard him this man make a reference to something called self deportation. And I put all this together just thinking, like, oh, wow, people do that, but they don't call it that. But people do that all the time. They make conditions so poor that you will quit them, leave them, um, leave town, leave the state, leave the country. That's exactly, it's on different levels, but um it's kind of what it's alluding to when you're being treated so poorly, or if somebody is making the conditions so poor for you. What's actually happening is the powers that be somewhere, wherever it is, if it's a man or if it's a state or um, politician or whatever, they're wanting you to leave. They want you to leave. So, like Fonnie was saying, um, the thing about anybody can get it and all that stuff. I think they just want a lot of people to leave Georgia. I think Georgia has, at some point, it got this rap for being some type of, I don't know, utopian place for Black people. And
hmm
so many people started moving there. Then they have the LGBTQ, you know, um, a lot of the men will
hmm
go there because of the community that's there, and it's just rich, a rich community of them. And then they go there because they know, okay, I'm going to be accepted, it's going to be fun, it's going to be friends, people for me to date or whatever. So they pack up and go there. A lot of people just pack up and go there, and I think they want a lot of people to leave. So they may not improve anything, just trying to hope that people get a clue. And you're not being treated good, you're not being these are not going to be good conditions, because we want a lot of people to get out of here.
Well, it's all connected, and people have to wake up to see
Mm-hmm.
it's a transition going. It's a transition of power going on, and let me put this as nice as I can. The clear people are not going to be the majority anymore. So now we're in this kind of like, you know, civil
Limbo.
war. We're in this civil war with each other because they don't want to lose power, and power is being lost because most other races have more children than they have. Normally they used to have what, two, 3 kids at the most.
Mm-hmm.
And so So it's all connected, like with abortion and
It's all connected.
it's all connected. And so they're not the prominent race anymore. So whatever they can do to try to hang on to power and to be the prominent race, then that's what's going on today. And I don't feel like a lot of people realize that all of these new, we've within the last decade they've come up with so many different laws and rules and regulations to try to get rid of people, like you said, to run them out the state. And nobody is going anywhere. So that's not going to work. That's why a lot of these jails in the South are overcrowded because they're trying to stay in power, and it's still
Yeah.
not working. It's not, whatever they're doing is still not working. So
Yeah, because that's never a good strategy.
mhm,
And I hate it when I see it being, but now that I heard that and I recognize it all over the place.
yeah,
It's like I don't know if we can throw that under narcissistic with some of the other, things that people do, but I just feel like it's a very toxic thing to do. But I see people doing it. I see it being done, rather. I just say I see it being done like all over the place. And it's horrible. But I mean, I think that's something that it's cowardly, um, rather than solve problems and go a direct route when you can, or get in there and really get to fixing the situation and seeing what can be done, to just try to run people off is just horrible.
or allow us to eliminate ourselves. That's why the gun laws are so the GUN laws are so relaxed now. So let's just eliminate everybody, however, by any means necessary. That's what appeared to me. Now I could be totally wrong about it, but that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, well, that's what it looks like to everybody, because when you're sitting around and you can't figure out what's going on. Back to Cat Williams, when somebody's trying to tell you something that you can't believe, best believe they're running a play behind it. It's a play
That
being
part,
run.
that part.
So yeah, it's definitely some plays being run.
We had a lot of people from California flock to, well, you're here in Texas, so
Mhm.
there's a lot of people from California just trying to flee those prices. And
Mhm.
so, everybody heard in the South, like you said, that it was cheaper to live in the South, and it used to be cheaper, but it's not, like you said, it's not anymore.
It's
We're
not.
catching up with it. Yeah, we're catching up with everybody else. It's still a little bit cheaper, but not like it used to be.
I mean, one of my favorite things to do is go and look in houses that are being built and kind of trespass a little bit and test those doors and see if the contractors left them open so I can look. And some of these houses that are $700,000, I'm like, for real? I mean, this is it's really crazy. It really is. I can. It's not been that long ago. For $700,000, you would have a real mansion with huge um, grounds and pools and probably
Tennis
tennis
court,
courts and basketball. Yes,
everything.
everything,
Yeah.
everything. Now, $700,000 is like a three-bedroom with a study and a small amount of yard in a subdivision, and then to
2,000 square feet max.
yeah, and for a little icing on the cake, they give you a swimming pool in the neighborhood and some little fun stuff to do in the neighborhood. But that's because they're cheating you out of a decent sized backyard. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
yeah.
why I moved back to my hometown because I didn't want because I was in the metropolitan area, and
Mm-hmm.
I sold my home, and it was like two and a half times more than what I paid for it.
Yep.
And I just moved back home to the country, and just bought me a home, and I don't have to worry about a house payment or anything. And like in the little small rural areas in Texas, it's still a little bit cheaper. But even here in my hometown, the housing have went up, and you can't. It's like you can't flee away from it at this point. There's no getting away from it.
Yeah. It's
E-
it's
Everybody,
it's pricey.
but did you hear? Like I heard about a decade ago that everybody was going to be on the same um let me see, how can I put this? Everybody was going to be on the same wavelength. We weren't going to have either you were going to be rich or you're going to be poor. It was not going to be a middle class anymore. And I really didn't believe that, but I believe it now because I'm
Yeah.
seeing it. I'm seeing it happen. It's either everybody is at the top or you at the bottom. It's not that in between anymore.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it does seem to be, unless something changes, it seems to be more moving in that direction than not. And
Yeah.
then just all of the homelessness.
Yeah.
Um like you in Dallas, you used to never see the amount of homelessness. Like there's always homelessness, but you
Yeah.
would see most of the people would be downtown near the shelters.
Mhm.
And then of course, you'll see people, kind of here and there, but most of the homelessness would be, they kind of float around downtown, stay near the shelter so they can go back to the shelters, or, or get whatever they can get from the shelters. And then, of course, here and there, you might see somebody that appeared to be homeless. But now you just see people trying to set up a tent just about anywhere.
Yeah. C-19 really exacerbated that.
It
But
did.
it must be a shelter over there by Parkland too, because when my mom used to have to go to Parkland because she was at the Zell Lipshire Center for the
Hmm.
cancer treatment, and I used to see a lot of homeless people over there also. So I'm like, I used to think, I wonder, is it a Salvation Army over here by Parkland, because a lot of homeless people used to hang out over there by Parkland also.
It,
But
it
they
is a
cleaned that up.
Salvation Army over there,
It
a
is,
center. Yeah, I used to
but it
work
looked like
at
they kind of
Parkland.
cleaned it. It looked like they kind of cleaned it up some though, didn't it?
Okay. I haven't been in that area in a long time, but I used to work at Parkland before they built the newest Parkland building.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I do know that there's a Salvation Army, the one that houses people. And yep, it
And
sure is.
and Parkland is a hospital, guys. We're talking about a hospital that's in
Yeah, thank you.
downtown. Parkland is a hospital that's off of 35. Almost, it's not quite downtown Dallas. A little bit up from downtown Dallas, but it's also the
Hmm.
hospital where they took JFK when he got shot. So just to give people an idea of what Parkland Hospital is.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you for that.
No problem.
Absolutely.
Well, they used to be my hood. I had to leave y'all though. I couldn't afford to stay there. I could, but I didn't want to.
You didn't want to.
It wasn't worth it to me now, and I can't take the climate no more. The air is too thick.
Yeah. Fun fact, I was born at Parkland, but I don't live in Dallas anymore either.
Oh,
But I
okay.
was actually born at that hospital. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
lots of lots of association with Parkland for me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But yeah,
well,
I just feel like for whatever reason, I just don't think we're going to trial. That's why they gave him 6 months. Remember the last time he went to court and the DA said that he was ready, and
mhm.
Nesto's lawyer asked for 6 more months. So um, right after we get through eating Thanksgiving turkey, we'll find should
So
be.
okay, so what is your prediction?
I predict he's going to take a plea deal. I don't think we're going to get to see a trial,
Okay. What about on
unfortunately.
on every set of charges? Do you think he'll even be offered it on every set? Well, we know he's not indicted. So he is not indicted on the CP or the SA charges. Um, but my prediction is that he will be indicted on all of them. And I thought that they would sort of make him go to trial by
I
not offering him any deals on that Rico. I
I
feel
think
like,
when he make the negotiation, I think they're going to drop those charges down, either drop
mhm.
them or eliminate them, and
Mm,
just do a plea deal on the other charges, because with the other charges that he have, they can do. 400 years with those 39,000 charges he have. They could, if they do the maximum time, he could get over 100 years just for those charges alone. So I just feel like he's going to do a plea deal, and he'll probably wind up doing 10 to 15 years, and they're going to drop some other charges. That's just my prediction.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, like you said, we'll see. Mine is that he will have to go to trial on something. I won't say what, because I don't know it well enough. But I feel like the way they've made him stay in jail and given him this high bond, I don't know. It just seems like it would kind of trivialize it to go all the way back down to, um, I don't know, like a 10-year plea. But it's possible because we know the criminal justice system, and they don't like to use all that money on trials if they don't have to. So
And
we'll
also,
see.
they already have, remember, YSL trial, Young Thug's trial is a RICO. Then you have
Hmm.
Trump, that's a RICO. And then you're gonna have Nesto as a RICO. That's a lot of RICO going on in one, at one time frame. So that's
Yeah.
why I said if they can eliminate, if they can make a good deal and negotiate, I think they would do that and drop those other charges. Either drop them down to, I don't know what a lesser charge would be as far as the SA and the R charges,
Hmm.
maybe, something lighter than what they are, and then, included in the RICO, included in the plea deal. But I just feel like since they have so much going on, and those are just the three RICO charge cases that we know that they have, and who knows if they have any other on the books, and then they have other trials and they're already behind. So with the logistics of Georgia, that's the reason why I feel like that, they will offer him a plea deal,
Yeah. And
and
also,
that's the only
somebody
reason why
might
I say
just,
that.
hmm I hear you. And somebody might just have mercy on Shirley too, and just offer him something that he can't refuse, so she won't have to. Because I would really think that she would have to, that she would be subpoenaed. Like, it's so many people will be subpoenaed if this does go to trial. So I don't know. Maybe she
Who would have
has.
mercy on Shirley? Fanny. The only person who have to have mercy is Fanny.
I guess her. I guess her. If they don't want her to have to come, so
See, I don't think Shirley is a factor. I just don't feel like they care about Shirley like that.
hmm
That's
Well,
just
of
my
course
opinion.
not in the in the grand
Unless
scheme of it, but she is in there. She's in the bigamy part.
she is, but as far as embarrassment and all of that, I don't think they care unless her boss intervene.
Mm.
Now, if her boss intervene, then they make a save grace. They could save her face,
Yeah,
but
but then again, we are talking about a place that's that took Trump on. So
that part,
um,
she's
so
very
yeah,
ambitious. I'm like
yeah,
Nestor. She's very ambitious and
yeah.
very and didn't she get reelected?
You know what? I don't know. Should we
I
look
think
that
she.
up?
I
When
believe
was
she got.
she up for it?
Well, it just happened. I know she won the now. I don't know if she got to do a runoff or whatever, but I know she did win the primary at least.
Okay, yeah, it says defeated attorney and author Christian Wise Smith in the Georgia Democratic Party primary Tuesday, the Associated Press projects. Oh, projects. So this was May 21st. But yeah, it looks like she did. She did win.
But is it a primary to do a runoff at a later time, or did she actually just already won? Because sometimes it may be somebody like two or three of them running, and the best one have to win the primary, and then you have to go and and win the
Right.
seat. So I don't know. I don't remember if she actually won just the primary, or did she actually just get reelected altogether. I'm not sure about it.
Okay. It
But
says she won the Democratic primary defeating
Okay.
challenger Christian Wise Smith in her bid for re-election. She will now,
Okay. So,
okay, well, hold on.
so she
It
got to
says she
go.
will now face Republican challenger Courtney Kramer in the general election in November. So she's
Hmm.
got it until November, it looks like.
So she just won the primary to to
Hmm.
get in the race. So she still have a little ways to go.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know she was in the middle of an election with all that.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Trust me, it's all connected. It's all connected.
Queen Lily. Hi, Queen Lily.
And she just might lose because she's the only reason why she would lose is because she's trying to do Rico on the Orange Man, and the Orange Man got a lot of support in Georgia.
Oh my gosh.
He does. You didn't
Yeah,
see where they were
of
trying to get
course.
rid of her. You noticed they've been trying to get rid of her ever since she filed those charges. They've
Oh
had
yeah.
her. Yeah,
Oh
they've
yeah,
had her
for
in court
sure.
and all of that, trying to drop the case,
Hmm.
trying to find something wrong that she's doing wrong or what have you, because they don't want this case to come. They don't want it to come forward.
Yeah.
And then the audacity of her being the color that she is, trying to um, indict, the
Hmm.
savior, the orange savior.
Their guy. Their
Yeah,
guy. That's their guy.
yeah, that's their guy. And so, it's the audacity for them. And so
Mhm.
and so, like, if she do lose, then what's gonna happen to him? Will all these RICO cases? Because if they drop one RICO case, shouldn't they have to drop the other ones?
Hmm. Well, there's other prosecutors in the department. Surely they wouldn't do that, you
Well,
know, because it's already in motion. But I guess, lawyers could fight for their clients
I
and,
just hope she win because I'm sure they'll find a way of getting rid of it. It just seems like they want to get rid of it. It ain't just the people, you know. It's not just the voters. It's people that's in Georgia Supreme, in the House, in
mhm.
Georgia's House. A lot of the politicians want her to go. Also, they've already, like I said, they've been on her heels trying to get rid of her for whatever reason. They actually made her get rid of Nathan Wade. Saying it was a conflict of interest, and I don't see how that is. They're on the same team, so I don't see the conflict. But whatever. So she's having to dance to their music right now.
Mm.
And so if I'm just wondering what would happen if she don't win, you know.
Well, Queen Lily says they will not drop the RICO cases. Did you want to come up, Queen Lily? I'm about to round it off here. So I was trying to see if anybody had anything else that they wanted to add
I
to
hope she do because
our.
I would love to hear about this, about, what's really going on.
Hmm. Queen Lily says she will win.
And she said they're not going to drop the RICO cases either.
Right.
But I'm not saying that they're going to just drop him because he lose, but I'm just saying if this other guy wins, he'll try to find a way to get rid of at least the Orange Man's RICO case.
Well, and I'm pretty sure that the other lawyers that will, empower them to challenge, they might be able to challenge them against a new, um, I don't know, sort of administration. Uh-oh. I said what I said, dropped out. Let me put you back.
You
Yeah.
went out. A new challenge on what?
I was saying that if someone else wins, who this person in the if the Republican wins,
Mm-hmm.
then the lawyers of the people with the RICO, I would imagine that they can come and challenge the RICO to the
Oh, okay.
new,
Yeah.
yeah, to the new
District attorney.
district attorney, right?
Yeah.
So,
So
oh, you said no, maybe another day. Okay, all right. Well, yeah,
let's throw in the stalker. They're betting on homeboy to win. They want him to win because I don't know why he want him to win as if he's gonna come down and save him. Because if that man get in office, you still gonna be under these charges. You still gonna have to go to court. I don't think he's gonna come and save you. And he can't pardon you because it's a state case. So I don't know why you want him to win.
Him and Sonya love him for some reason. I don't
Well,
know.
well, they say he helped the people.
Mm, okay.
Well, criminals stick together. Birds of a feather normally sticks together. So that's probably why they want him to win. I know that's why him and her get along so well, and she just upholds every little thing he does.
Oh my gosh.
And I know you
Yeah.
fixing to go, but let me just say a little bit about this little situation here. Even if he do get out and somehow beat these charges, because all he needs is one juror to be doubtful, and he can beat it with just one, because that's what Georgia's about. If one
He
person don't
can.
agree with it, yeah, he can just only convince one person. But if he do go to court, go to trial, and if he's able to convince that one person and he get off, he is not going to be with her, because first of all, you're not in good enough health for him. You're going to want to try to follow him around, and he's not going to be able to stop at a restroom every 5 minutes while you tag along with what he's doing. Also, he don't want you around while he's making these moves that he's making. You can't
Mm-hmm.
watch, you can't sit there and watch everything he does. And that was the beauty of the relationship that he had with Shirley. Shirley let him soar and fly. She let him go be
Mm-hmm.
him. And I don't think Lil Scooter gonna let him do that. She's not gonna let him, she's not gonna give him that freedom. And so he's gonna tire of her really, really quick. Cause she gonna want to follow along with him, and he's not going for that.
Mm-hmm. And to top it all off, he was free and she was free. And he was still ignoring her.
Well, she said he called her every minute, every day for 5 minutes, remember?
Well, 23, 23 more hours and 55 more minutes in the day. But you know how she said that she was calling him at one of those early on calls, and she would talk about how she would be calling him and not able to get in contact with him, and he, that was before he was in trouble. And
Mm-hmm.
she said something like, "Oh, so this is why I feel like," she said, she came to town one time to actually spend time with him and he didn't connect with her. And that lines up with something that I've heard from another lady that had an issue with him, where she said she came to town and she called him and he said he was in another state or something. But
Mm-hmm.
he had actually taken her money
Yeah, he
and
had her to
didn't.
come to town to come get his money, to come get her money, but then he told her he was in California when she got to
Exactly.
Georgia.
Told her she was in California. And I feel like there was, they it was a phone call where Sonya said, "Oh, so, this is where you were when you weren't answering my calls and I came to town," and
Mm-hmm.
whatever the whole complaint was. So yeah, I mean, they were free together and he was ignoring her. And
But he
we don't
didn't
even
even.
know why he was ignoring her at that point, but he was choosing other women even then.
But Kelly, he didn't ask her to be his woman. She
He
stalked that man.
didn't. He
She
did
stalked
not.
that man. How you gonna stalk somebody in jail? And just
He
think, if he would have
didn't.
spent a whole, if he would have spent, just think if he would have, spent a little bit more time with her, Shirley would have had a problem. Him, and both of them, they would have had a problem. If he would have spent more than them little 5 minutes a day with her, it would have been a big problem.
Hmm. Yeah, well,
Cause she's not
uh
the type. She's not the type that's just gonna sit on the sidelines. I think she would have came out. The rest of them would have fell in line, but she wouldn't have fell in line, and he knows that. Just like he told her, you don't listen to me. I listen to you, but you don't listen to me.
I think it's very telling how she drops in some of her text messages, "I'm crazy." And it doesn't even have anything. Just like she drops in, "I love you," she drops in, "I'm crazy."
Well, he was trying to get her to stay in Florida and to make those moves that she claimed that she had, right, with Lowe and the other, and the architect.
Mhm. Mhm.
Claimed that they was fixing to get this and that together, and he was trying to get her to stay down there, and she was like, "F Florida, I'm just tired. I'm tired of these people. I'm finna move." He didn't ask her to move to Georgia. She did that on everything she's doing on her own.
Yeah.
And she's just stalking this man. I'm like, how you gonna stalk? I can't say that too many times. How are you gonna stalk somebody in jail?
Well, I can't do anything but agree with you, because when she was telling him that she wanted she wanted him to want her. I can't remember how she put it, but he told her, if you want me to be your man, just tell me I'm your man. And they kept going all around, going in circles and circles about it. He would never say, I want you to be my woman. He told her, just tell me I'm your man. But that's a pimp ism. That's a ism, right? that's that's the ism. That's not regular relationship. Like, he just basically told her to choose up. But
And also he told
I'm
her,
not your boyfriend. I'm not your man, but
right,
you can choose me.
yeah, pimp talking her. Just like
Yeah.
he told her about those blueberries. He told her you can use those blueberries. Ain't that's what you bought them for?
Wow.
He just so much
Wow.
talking. He just in so
Where
many
is
words
that
he's talking
call?
her.
Did he just kind of slide that in? Where is
It's
that
not the
call?
call. It's on the text messages. It's
Oh,
you got to read all of the texts, Kelly, because
okay.
it's a
I'm
clip.
gonna search for blueberries.
Yeah,
Oh,
search for those blueberries, baby, because he told her that. Isn't that what you got those blueberries for?
wow. Oh,
Right,
wow.
right. And so he's pimp talking her the whole time, and she's
Well,
not catching on. She thinking that she was just really trying to outdo Shirley. You know how women are. The ones that's trying to take your man. They want to be everything that you're not,
yeah.
and that's what she called herself doing, being everything that Shirley wasn't.
Yeah, well, she ran, but she can't hide from these text messages. Now, what do you think about, did you hear about Storm Monroe?
Yeah, I saw him saying that he felt like that she got his channel strike, but he
Yeah,
backed up though.
he's back up. Yeah. He said that it was um the attorney over there. So I was wondering, is that the court appointed attorney? Because I think that's the only attorney that he has anymore.
Yeah, he just have court appointed attorneys. He doesn't have any paid attorneys other than Creel. But remember, the judge wouldn't let Creel off of the case.
Oh,
Because
okay.
remember, Creel tried to get himself removed from the case, and the judge told him no, he had to stay without being
Okay.
paid.
So he, without being paid?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he
But
got paid some of his money.
Crail collected a lot of money.
Yeah, and so the money that I think they've already paid Creel. Creel just wanted more money, according to them, according to the Scooter and
Yeah.
Nesto. But the judge told him he has to stay on the case. But what they did do, remember, they brought in a special prosecutor. I mean, a special lawyer to help Hannah out because it was too overwhelming for Hannah. So now he
Mm,
have the special lawyer that's supposed to handle the financial crimes, and then they have
mhm,
Hannah, and then they have Creel. So he have
mhm.
three attorneys that's working with his case, and rightfully so. You got all these charges. You're gonna need 3 or 4 attorneys. He probably need 2 more.
Wow. Well, Mr. Is it S. Gould? How are we pronouncing that? Uh, yeah, I don't think he's going to be acquitted. I really don't. I don't think anybody thinks he's going to be acquitted. I think that he may get some plea deals. I'm just thinking that I would hope that something goes to trial, that they wouldn't just let him off with a plea. And then especially because of how they've held him with all these high bonds. But yeah, I would definitely not think that he would be acquitted. He might not get indicted, So
I
I
don't
don't
I don't
know.
think he's gonna be acquitted. Also, I just said there may be a chance that one person, you know, may think like him and Sonya and just say no, they don't believe it. But I totally don't feel like he'll be acquitted. But
Mhm.
I was just saying it only take one person to throw the
And
jury. That's all I was saying.
I feel like there's a lot of receipts for the stuff in the RICO because there were checks, there were people that he dealt with, and surely those people had some communications. They might have had emails, they probably definitely had text messages, and they have the checks or copies or something, because he was doing a lot with paper check.
Yeah, he
um
had a big paper trail.
so somebody would just have to want to let him off,
Well,
because I don't
you
see
won't.
how he could just get off with all those receipts.
Well, Sonya upholds everything, and I'm pretty sure there's some more people on the earth, that probably think like she do.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
you're right.
hopefully they can pick 'em, sort them out when they try to pick for the jurors. But I'm pretty sure, she ain't the only one. Cause it's a lot of people. Um, just let me just use O.J. Simpson as an example. We all know O.J. probably more than likely did that, but
Yeah,
they let him off, right?
yeah, they did, they really
And that
did.
was two people. That was two people. It wasn't. I mean, Ernest didn't unalive anybody. This dude unalive two people, and they still let him go. So I'm just saying it could be a fluke in the system where he could get off. I'm not saying I want him to or I think he will, but I'm just saying it's a possibility. Anything can happen.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility when you take something to trial. And so
That's
that's
it. It's a
why
gamble.
they don't necessarily want to do it all the time, and they will start coming with those deals. So
But
yeah.
Queen Lily said that Krell is no longer on the case.
Mhm.
But I thought he was still on there. I thought the judge made him stay on the case, but something could have happened. But she said that he's no longer on the case anymore, just the public defenders at this point.
Well, see, like uh and I don't know. I do need to do better. I need to do better at going over there and to Fulton County, whatever that is, and getting the case documents. But the okay, so Hannah was on the CP charges, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so then Crail would have been on the SA
Mm-hmm.
and the other things, the theft stuff, before they put it in the RICO, but they didn't put the SA in the RICO. So perhaps Crail is still on the SA stuff.
That's what I thought was going
Because
on.
the public defender is on it's the team, the man and the woman team on the RICO, but I haven't seen where they're also on the SA charges. So somebody's got to be handling those SA charges.
Well, it's a big mess, and it's real hard to follow
Mhm.
and keep up, with all the moving pieces.
Yeah, if you're not, and Fran over at Real Talk Bougie, she just does such a good job at keeping up with all of the documents. But even in that, I haven't sorted it out who has taken on the CP and the SA stuff from the young lady. So I don't know who's got that. But let's see, is there any other comments? I got down to the last comment. So, well, I said what I said. I want to thank you so much for coming up
No
and
problem.
talking to us today. And I'm going to keep on reading because it's just, man, it's so many nuggets to be found in this thing.
Just the first batch of text messages will give you guys content for the next year.
Right. I mean, and see, because you never know what you're going to find in there. Like, obviously they're saying stuff, but even in that reading where everything was done so well, and then all of a sudden it went to back to him again. So, and then you're trying to persuade your wife to listen to you, but she knows for sure that wasn't him writing all that stuff that he wrote, and then you're right back to writing it like you write. So that's just, I don't know, kind of like a little example of all the different things that we're going to find out looking.
Well, when you read the text messages, at one point she told him to make sure he's a writer now, that he need to proofread everything.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah,
I said,
she
I said, he's
knows.
still scamming this woman, and she's still going for it.
She knows her well. Or was she being shady?
I don't know, but she told him he need to proofread. I don't think she was being shady, because that's when she was still calling him honey and I love you. But then,
Oh,
on one of the text messages, she said that she didn't know he could write like that. She's never seen him write like
see,
that
I
before.
would I would think that she would have to be being shady because she knows he can't even talk like that. How
Mm.
can, that's not even the way that he voices
Oh,
things out.
mm-mm.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is
But to
definitely
be
going to be
continued.
interesting.
Listen, to be continued. And
Yeah, to
that's
be
all I can
continued
say.
for sure. Yeah.
And let's see. I can't wait till after Thanksgiving to see if it's gonna. I hope they don't push it off again. But they said, he said the lawyer said he needed 6 months, so that should take us to after Thanksgiving, and hopefully we'll go to
Hmm.
trial or we'll get something in 6 months, in October, in November.
Yeah. And hopefully they'll also come in and do something with those other charges. So, you know, whether they,
Wouldn't they have to though? Or could do you feel like that they will go to court, and after he finished with all of this, then they'll throw the RICO I mean the other charges on him?
well, since they, how they had them, they looked like they were dismissing the CP and then they brought it back. So I would imagine that has to go to a full indictment because they did the proceedings where they, I don't know what everything is called. It's on the tip of my tongue, but where they go and they prove it up if it's good enough to indict.
They took it to the
So
grand jury.
right, so they did that with the CP, but it's still not formally indicted and it's not under that RICO.
Yeah,
So I feel like that's going to definitely be indicted. And then the thing that's kind of a toss up is the thing with the young lady, you know.
yeah.
So
But don't they have a special crimes unit that's looking at those charges though? I thought, wasn't it a special unit that was looking at that?
you know better than me. You know I'm not ashamed to say it. You know better than me.
See, I do not,
Cause
because I forget a lot. I'll be on all these channels, and it all runs together at some point.
yeah, he
And
has so
if
much
I can
going
remember
on.
correctly, I think that they had a special unit that was looking at that.
Okay. Okay. That, I mean, that makes sense because it's pretty much all with this one young lady. So I mean, that I would think they do need to get with her and find out what type of evidence they could come up with because she's gonna need some pieces of evidence, something to go to court with
Yeah,
if they're gonna really have a case on that particular thing. And then, but they know that they have a case on those photos because they got the um, experts and they got
yeah.
everything verified, so they know they have a case with that.
But even just with that though, that's a lot of time just with the photos though, isn't it?
Well, some kind of way, Nesto seemed to think that he's already done the time. If they come and
Oh,
charge him with that, he felt like he had time served. I feel he said that a couple of times, like, "Well, I already been in here long enough to have time served on the CP."
oh, okay.
Yeah, he's voiced that, which is kind of scary because he keeps saying he doesn't want that to be something that is on his record. But it sounds like if they came and charged him with it and would give him time served, he'd take that.
Well, he don't want it on his record because that's going to give him, you know, like if they make him register as an offender,
Yeah,
that's
he
gonna
can't do anything.
that's gonna limit his freedom. Once he do get out, he still won't be free because he won't be able to live by churches and schools and parks and
And with
you know
women that have
and
kids and
yeah,
grandkids.
yeah, that's gonna limit his moving. And he's used to being free and scamming, going to Walmart or wherever he want to go. So he ain't baby be in the Walmart parking lot because kids be in the Walmart. So that's gonna limit his freedom, and so that's why he don't want that on him like that.
Yeah, absolutely. He don't want it, but
And it's gonna
I
keep the people in his life a long time.
Nesto.
Yeah, he got himself. He done got himself in a pickle now.
Yeah, he definitely fell back in it. He did it
But
and fell back in it.
I wonder how his crew feel though since these text messages are out. Because remember when Dion was fussing at him and telling him that he can't believe that he messing up the game, and he doing all this talking and he ain't acting like a G, like he messing up the code. So I wonder how they feel um, if they've heard these text messages read out so far, with the way that he was
Hmm.
complaining and crying and really kind of acting like a little boy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, if that's your father, you can't really do anything but just shake your head, because you know where he's coming from. You know he's coming from a scamming place. Dion knows all of these indiscretions, and he's rocked with his dad, the best he could.
Hmm.
So, um, a lot of those, not a lot of those women, but the ladies that came out that said that they worked at the barbershop,
Yeah.
um, I want to say both of the ones that were interviewed, and okay, so Hazel, she did her own expose, and then the other lady, she was interviewed. And I feel like both of them had the consensus that Dion is about his business. He's, you know, sort of on the nice guy side, but at the same time, he was also one of the people in the room that just sat there when, or the way that Hazel put it, when she was told to disrobe, and he, in her words, everybody just sat there.
Hmm.
So I feel like he's gonna rock with his dad. He might not initiate some of those things, but at the end of the day, he's gonna be like, well, that's my daddy.
Right.
And I feel like he just knows um where he's coming from. Even when they talked about it, kind of, after Nesto had talked to Sonya, and then he got off the phone with her, and then he went and called Dion, and Dion was a little upset, but then Dion started saying, well, yeah, my woman, about the can't afford you thing. And he was
Hmm.
talking about, basically, he has a woman that, it has to be able to afford him.
Yeah.
So that they know how they are, that they know what they do.
Even
And
Dre.
even Dre.
Yeah, you heard Dre talking about when he was trying to get with Sonya's sister. When they was trying to, hook him up with Trisha. But do she got any money? Do
Oh,
she? You remember that?
that was horrible. Is
Right.
she is she willing to is she willing to do anything for anybody else, or is she just trying to do for herself? And I'm like, who? I mean, that's one of those, that was very inflammatory. That's one of those statements. If somebody said it to your face, you'd want to cuss them out. Because
Very
who do I
telling.
need to be doing anything for? I need to be taking care of myself. And that is it, sir. If I'm
Yeah, and
taking
everybody
care of
think,
myself, I'm doing a grand job. So
and
no,
everybody
I'm
think
not trying to do anything for another grown man who is not some family member or, no, I'm not trying to do anything for you. Who are you? And why would I be?
But everybody thought Dre was such a good guy.
Oh, that was very, like you said, it was very telling
Mhm.
and trashy. It's like he knows what not to say, but on that one, he let that one come on out full force because I guess that was at a time when he knew he didn't think he needed to guard what he said.
Mhm. Exactly. But I've
Oh,
always
Dre.
said that, that I've always said birds of a feather flocks together. They
Yeah.
may not be as ruthless as Nesto, but like Dion told him, only you know what you did. Even Dion told him that. Only you know what
Wow.
you did. So um I just feel like everybody in the crew is done some shenanigans one way or the other. May not be to the extent of Nesto, but I feel like they all, have the same mindset when it comes to women,
Mm,
and that's no
yeah.
respect for women at all.
Right. Yep.
Yep.
I totally agree. I totally agree. It's like um women are for use and they're all okay with it. they're they all agree they're okay
Yeah.
with it. If they have somebody that somebody else is using, they're okay with it.
Mhm.
um I never did understand why, if you have a wife and she's paying for these expensive attorneys of yours, then why do you need anything else, anybody else? You have a helper. Shirley, she might not be what Sonya is, but Sonya was lying a lot. Sonya wasn't running down those people like she was telling him. She wasn't running down the information or anything. She was just lying. And I'm pretty sure if Shirley did tell him that she was going to follow up on something with somebody, she was going to do it. And she wasn't going to lie like Sonya was. And she was going to leave a lot of things in the hands of the attorney. But if she's paying for the attorney, and if he would have just only been dependent on Shirley, it's no telling, how much better things could have been. Maybe not much because he's still accused of what he's accused of. But
Yeah, but
I
Shirley
mean,
could have had somebody, he could have had, like you're saying, he may have had a little bit more help. And if he would have just listened to Shirley and followed her lead and just stayed off the phone, because if you'll notice on the text messages, Shirley wasn't
stayed off
even
the
on the
phone.
call. Shirley
Mm-hmm.
wasn't talking to him that much, and she wasn't texting him that. She wasn't doing all that texting and talking to him like that. So he
Mm-hmm.
needed Sonya. He wanted Sonya to fill up the time and messed around and messed himself up, because if it would have been just him just sitting down and just waiting and being patient, she may have could have finagled his way, finagled him out of there, um, you know, through
Mm-hmm.
back channels. But you can't
Yeah.
even use any back channels now because you don't made such a mess of it. All you can do is go to court at this point. And to be honest with you, reading the text has kind of changed my mindset about Shirley, because I was under the impression that there's no way Shirley could have not known. But now that I've read the text messages, I think Shirley was really praying for him. As all, she was sending him scriptures and trying to encourage him, to wait upon the Lord and to pray and wait for God to come and bring him out these chains and bounds. And
Yeah.
but she really was though. Shirley was really praying for him.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I just think he's in there because you don't mess with God's children.
Ooh, I think the same thing. Now, what happened?
Now I can't say that
Oh,
Shirley, maybe a starch Christian or whatever, because I'm not in, that's between her and her Lord. But based on what she was telling him on the phone, and based on these text messages, she really was praying for him. All she was doing was sending him scriptures and encouragement. But he didn't want to hear that. It was too
right. And
nice. It was
and
too
she's
nice for him.
smart. Yeah, it was too nice. And she's smart enough to know, like, you're gonna have to get into your relationship with God because I can't
Yeah.
talk to you. We can't afford to talk. we can't afford to keep giving them something more to go off of. But it's like she couldn't even get all that out. That's why she kept saying, just pray, just
Yeah.
just look at this, look at that, read your Bible. You're going to have to use this spiritual relationship, because you and I, that's only going to be, whatever you say can and will be used against you. And they already knew that, because they had already used his conversations against him before he got to, Cobb County. Those are the conversations that we can't see, because Fulton doesn't, they don't do the same thing with FOIA. So they already knew the conversations are going to get held against you. But Nesto is, he was just so undisciplined and just, I don't know, greedy and wanted his way. And, so he's really done all this to himself. It's really nobody to blame but him. And, you can look at Sonia, you can look at all the other things, but at the end of the day, he wanted her there. He wanted to keep talking. He wanted to keep interacting. He wanted to keep playing, and like you say, keeping himself occupied. So
Yeah,
it's,
entertained.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
she
nobody
was
else to
entertaining
blame.
him. She was entertaining him. And basically what they did was gave everybody the ammunition they need to use against him, whether it be content creators or the popo.
Yeah,
Everybody,
yeah,
let's put it like this: everybody got what they needed from him,
they
except
did.
for Shirley.
Because I don't think the whole bigamy thing, I really do think the wife wanted that to be known. Whichever one of those ladies brought that out, she took it to the larger content creator. The
Edith.
larger content creator brought it to YouTube, and then, once it's out here, whoever can pick up on it can pick up on it. So I really feel like that's how they got that information. We probably won't find out, but it was public at that point, and that came
Well,
directly from that wife.
Little Scooter told us he had 6 wives, so Little Scooter is the one who let us know he had another wife. We didn't even know. We thought he just
What
remember
she
we thought
say?
he just
I don't want to be his sixth wife. And
yeah, we
then
were
in
like
the
everybody was like
meantime, look,
6.
but behind the scenes, she's texting him every day. I love you. I love you more. I couldn't love you more than I do now. I love you more than I did yesterday. Oh, I didn't think I could love you more than this, but actually I do. So
I love the earwax in your ears. I love the crumbs in your eyes. I love the rust on your toes and your knees and elbows.
but you don't want to be his sixth wife. Girl,
Yeah,
stop.
go
Stop,
somewhere and
stop,
sit down,
stop.
girl. You want to push everybody out the way, and it's just not gonna work because pimps don't just deal with one person. I'm sorry,
Wow. Wow. That
but
should
yeah,
be that's the
yeah,
quote of the day.
yeah. They don't.
Pimps do not just deal with one person.
The queen talking about I love the pimple on your nose. Right, that part.
Yeah.
Everything.
That's
I mean,
basically
you
what she did. I know she
just
could have went on. She could have went on and on.
hell, she did go on and on. I got tired of knowing how many ways I love thee. Let me count the damn ways.
Yeah. Ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
Yeah, just pick me. But
Yeah.
he picked her too. He the one who called her the coach, so he wanted her to take this position. So it's all his fault. He sabotaged his own self. In other words, in so many words, he sabotaged his own case and his own marriage and his own self by letting her come in and take over and
Mm.
pull all the crap that she pulled.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the bed that he made. So, you know,
No,
uh
unfortunately, he got to lay in it now.
yeah, maybe my mother used to we'd be driving down the street, and you know how a squirrel would run out or a dog, and she'd say, "Oh, it must have that thing must have a death wish." And
Hmm.
so, he does talk about going to, going away quite a bit.
Yeah.
I saw actually I thought I was going to get to that text today, but I didn't. So I need to pick up where I left off because he talks about uh getting out of here. And
Well, it's a call with that too, though. With Dion, remember he told Dion, just God and
yep,
don't
it's a
put me in
call
the
with it.
ground, just put me on the shelf, and then throw me out there in them green waters.
Yeah, he's actually talked about that uh more than a couple of times, and then he's got the text message. And so I don't know. I just think
Well, I know.
sometimes people are trying to sabotage themselves, their life. They don't know anything else to do.
Well, I worked in a mental institution in the '90s, and let me tell you something. Anybody that want to commit that type of action, they never live to tell that story. First of all, they don't tell anybody that that's what they're going to do. They just
Mhm.
do it.
Mm.
You look up and they just no longer here. And so all of that is just BS, and you just trying to gain sympathy and support and want someone to feel sorry for you. Because if you were going to do that, you wouldn't tell anybody.
Okay, so he just wants it's all another manipulation for him.
Attention.
Yeah.
Attention is what it is.
Oh my gosh, how did this man get to be this
Well,
old and
guess,
still just
uh,
act like a little itty bitty kid? Just a little kid.
well, the old saying, age is nothing but a number, because, all three of them display that, including poor Shirley. It's just a number.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we've been at it, or I have been at. I always say that I've been here 3 hours. I do need to see what else is going on today, and I don't even feel tired anymore. So maybe I'll just keep staying up. I'll just,
Well, I
I'll
gotta
probably
go.
just keep staying up until a little bit later, and then I'll kind of go to bed.
Well, I
Um,
gotta get ready to the store. I gotta go bake some macaroni and cheese, make some baked macaroni and cheese. We having a get together at my cousin's house
oh my
for
gosh,
the
that sounds
June
good.
19th. So
That sounds. I passed up on a walk. I was like, I will not be out there walking today. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to wish y'all well from afar. And a walk, you would have had to pay to enter, and then walk, and then this Texas heat and
is it a
air
charity walk?
advisory and all that. I believe so. I don't have the information, but I do know that I was invited to it, and then it was a $35 fee. So I was like, no, I don't want to walk. I don't want to walk in the heat, and I really don't want to pay $35 to do all the stuff I don't even want to do.
That part.
So yeah, I probably try to do something a little bit more celebratory um, than
Well, it's not that
something.
hot here. Look like it's gonna be. It look like it's about 80 degrees here where I'm at. We're not that hot. And where I'm in West Texas, we get a lot of wind. I'm
Let me
I'm a couple hours away from Amarillo by the Panhandle.
Okay. Let me
So
tell
yeah,
y'all what the weather is for me.
we get plenty of wind here.
Oh, it's
So
not that bad. It's 87.
yeah, see, we're 85.
I thought it was in the 90s. Okay, it's not that. Well, it wouldn't have been that bad, but I guess I just didn't want to walk. I got enough steps in for the day already. I'm good. Um, but thank you. I said what I said. Thank you, Queen Lily. And thank you for everybody that stayed for the chat. The It's kind of like the after show after the reading. So I appreciate everybody. And so, I always like to say, did you have any final thoughts or anything you want to leave us with today?
Yeah, I hope we get to see the trial, but I'm not dead set on it. I don't feel like we will, but I really want to see how this is gonna end up, and where little Scooter gonna be, because she's gonna be heartbroken. I
Mm,
just want to see how all of this is gonna pan out, and I really do wish Shirley well, and look like she's getting her life back on track, and I'm glad that she's able to do that. And
yes,
Shirley,
absolutely.
Shirley, just forget about it, Shirley. Don't even worry about dating nobody else. Just go and live your rest of your days, with the grandkids, baby, and
Yes,
and your daughter. That's it.
I think that would be that would probably be the best advice, you know. And there's so much that she can do. She's got her job. She does have her daughter and her grandchildren, and then she's got friends, you know.
Yeah.
She can do a lot of traveling. Uh, of course, she's got to do her work, but you know, she can do her traveling. She can just do so much, and it's just a lot of freedom in the place that she's in. So I would definitely, and a lot of peace. You know how sometimes you get rid of somebody and it's just this overwhelming peace that comes.
Well,
I'm speaking for
she'll
myself
get
right
that
now.
peace. She'll get that peace when she signed them papers.
Well, yeah, it's gonna come in stronger.
Yeah.
It's definitely gonna come in stronger. So yeah, I think that would be, that would probably be best. You know we can't tell her what to do, but if she asked me, then I would say definitely just enjoy everything that you have and don't even worry about adding any new people. Don't add anybody new. Just
There you
enjoy
go.
what you got. Hold what you got. Maybe add a business. Maybe add another stream of income.
Yeah, that part. But thanks for
Yeah.
letting me come up today. I enjoyed your show.
All right. And thank you for coming.
No
And
problem.
I will see you hopefully on the next time. We're gonna keep going through it. And I may see you on another panel too. I'm gonna try to see if I can catch Vicky's or some of the other ones.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You have a nice day.
Okay. Thank you. You have a good
Okay.
day
Bye bye.
too. Happy holiday.
You too. Bye bye.
Okay, bye. All righty. See what the last little couple of comments are saying. What's in the 90s in Michigan? Okay, yeah, we were in the 90s. I thought we were in the low 90s today, but we're actually not even in the 90s. And you know what I think I'm gonna do? Do y'all have y'all ever heard of Swimply? Where you can so I want a swimming pool, but I don't know when I'm gonna be able to get one. So now you can rent somebody else's pool, like you can rent an Airbnb, but you don't even have to worry about the whole house. You can just look on the Swimply app. I need to sign up as an affiliate. You need to go over there and sign up as an affiliate. You know what? Maybe I will, and I'll put a link because I just like to share like things that I see that I like. But anyway, I was going to do it yesterday, but the pool that I wanted to go to was not available yesterday. So maybe I'll do that today, and then that'll be that'll be something nice to fit in today before I have to go back to work. But yeah, you can get on the app or the website. I don't have the app. I just go to the website and look at the pools that are available. You put in your area, your zip code, or your town, or whatever town you want to go to, and you just search. And the pools are available for rent by hour. And so really it's a comparable price to some of the some of the parks that you can go to, except for that it's just an hour. So if you wanted 2 hours, which to me really 2 hours is more than enough in a swimming pool. Um, so yeah, if you want 2 hours, you have to pay double. But that's just like paying for two admission fees to, somebody's water park. But you actually get a nice pool. Well, hopefully it's nice. You get to look on there and pick whatever you want. But you get a nice pool. Um, it you by yourself, so it's not other people out there splashing around in the pool. And then some of the people have it to where you can use, they have a private bathroom that's not connected to the house, or you can use a bathroom that is in the house. And then some people have it where you can't have access to their restroom. But again, you get to pick it out. So that's just something that I've been thinking about doing, and I thought I would just share that with y'all. If y'all are in a place that has it, I think it's cool. Actually, after I do it, I guess I'll tell y'all what I thought about it. And yeah, my son, he had his little company yesterday, his girlfriend, and so I always want for him to find something fun for them to do. And he would rather just sit in the living room and look at movies and stuff. And I'm like, you need to you need to plan a date. Like, I'm sure she wants to, sit around you, but she also probably wants to go out and do something. And sure enough, every time I suggest something, she's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's what I was trying to get them to do yesterday, but I couldn't quite get it together. So we ended up just going to a park, and like one of the nice big parks, and they walked, and um it was a lot of people up there, like from where we are, a lot of kids, and because people will be playing basketball, and there's a sand volleyball pit, and it's a lot of stuff up there. So I think they were even surprised at how many people were there, and it was pretty fun. So that's what we did yesterday. But I'm the swimmer. I like to go swimming, and so whether anybody comes with me or not, which I'm sure I'll have somebody with me, but I'm going to try that out. And when I do, I'll let y'all know how it was. I said what I said. I've had 2 homes with pools. I would advise against owning a pool. It's like having a baby as far as maintenance. You know what? I do believe you, because last year, and I need to pull it out of the shed, I bought a decent pool and set it up in the backyard. And then I went to the pool store and asked them, how can I maintain this water so I don't have to keep, because the pool is not like one of those huge ones, but it was too big to put all that water in and let all that water out in a day or so, because you can't just leave standing water that's not treated and conditioned and everything. So I went to the pool supply store, and they got the very expensive chemicals too. That's the other thing. So yeah, you're right. Um, but yeah, they got all that stuff together for me, and I treated it for at least a month. I had it back there maybe like a month and a half. By the time I thought about it, I don't think I had it out there 2 months. Um, but yeah, it was a lot. Just that little pool that I bought at Walmart. But like I said, it was just too big to be pouring the water out every time. And it did have that pump thing, that the little pump that comes with it. So yeah, if I had a large one, I could just imagine the expense. And then you definitely want to have it to where it's safe, because everybody that comes over may not know how to swim and all that. So I think I still want to have one, but I know, like, really really take all this stuff into consideration before I get one. Uh Shebe says that everywhere. Swimply, I think so. Like, if you just look look online, I think it's SWIMPLY, and see if they have anybody with pools in your area that are renting them out. Yeah, chlorine. I had the big tablets. I had shock. I had 3 things. I'm pretty sure it was 3 things. Definitely those big tabs, and because you put it in this other little thing that floats around, and then the shock, you put that in. I feel like it was something else, but maybe not. Uh, some sort of acid, maybe. I don't know, but I'm gonna know soon, because I'm gonna get it out and maybe by the weekend, I'm going to put it back up because my grandkids are looking forward to it. So I have to do it now that I started it. Started it. Now I got to keep doing it. So, okay, well, I guess I'll go ahead and get off of here before I make 4 hours. And but I do want to thank everybody for coming in today. Thank you all for participating and being in the chat and everything. And thank you, I said what I said, for coming up. Thank you again. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be around the same time. We're definitely going to try to keep this train rolling and see all the things that we can find out about. I may go to something a little bit more recent so we can see what they're talking about around the indictment and all of that. I haven't even read ahead, but I would love to know how, if at all, Nesto explains out all those different people that came up in the RICO. Because it was, a lot of people and all those vehicles that, everybody assumed were just his, and he was having that kind of money and buying that type of stuff. And then come to find out, these are vehicles that have been taken from people in one, shape, form, or fashion. So yeah, I might skip ahead to that and see what's going on. He tends to be a little bit evasive about, when he gets caught in a snare. He's definitely not forthcoming. So, but I still want to see what Sonya had to say about it potentially, and all of that, all the things. So, all right. Well, I will see you all later. Again, thank you so much for stopping by, and look forward to the next one. Okay. Bye.